So with the fam?
Man, they good, man.
All right.
Yeah.
What's going on? Welcome to Behind the Boards, episode 22. I got my brother Soul City in the building, Doc Spliph in the building, Apollo Brown in the building. We got Skyzoo in the building.
Yeah.
We got Money B, Digital Underground in the building. Of course, my partner Rockoleone in the building. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, you know what I'm saying? And I appreciate y'all to come in on a Tuesday night. I figured it'd be easier than doing it on the weekend nights. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, we here. I mean, we had Apollo. Apollo was with us in the production one. You know what I mean? And I asked him he wanted to come hang out with us on this one because I know you guys are brothers.
I'll come out, sit back, and not talk, man. Just let y'all talk.
This is the third time actually because we had Apollo Brown in a judge thing too. He did a judge thing for us. I mean,
yeah, he's the alumni right now.
Soak up some of this knowledge.
That's real.
There you go.
That's real.
Money B.
Yeah, definitely Money B, man. In the building.
Money
You know what I mean? He got all them plaques in the background too, man. I wish I could have one and shit.
I just want to get a sale.
Skyzoo, what's up with you, man? I mean, you know what I'm saying? I'm that Retropolitan, that album is really, really fucking dope, man. Like, yo, I really like that. And it was a year ago when you put that out.
It's been a year. Time flies, man. Time flies. But appreciate it, man. I'm glad y'all dug it. You know what I'm saying? Myself and P-Rock. And yeah, we knocked that out, you know what I mean? And it did everything we wanted it to do. Like, we just wanted to speak for the city a little bit. It had been a while since the city had a real soundtrack. You know, the city of New York had a soundtrack. So we just wanted to speak for the city a little bit. And who better to do it with, if you're talking New York producers, than Pete, you know what I'm saying? So, you know, it made sense.
Definitely. So you started 2005 was your first album, right? Correct?
Mixtapes. My first album was in 2009, but like a lot of mixtape stuff. Me and Ninth was in 2006. That was an EP, like collabo joint. So yeah.
Yeah, I remember when that first, and you were bringing around. I mean, I remember when I was with my people. I don't know if you know Blackistan and them. They was showing me, yo, Skyzoo, Torre. They kept showing me like, yo, who is this? Who is this? And then when I was on the radio, or we was on the radio for 2005 to 2014, and we used to play a lot of y'all joints and shit. You know what I'm saying?
It, man. Appreciate the support.
I got a quick question. Music from My Friends, did that come before or after the Ninth joint?
Oh, way after. Music for My Friends was 2015.
Oh wow.
That was like way later.
Is that late?
Yeah.
I was on that joint.
Yeah,
I know. That's why I wanted to ask.
Cloud 9 with Ninth, that was 2006.
Oh.
And then Music for My Friends was 2015, so that was like way later.
Yeah, 10 years.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
So
Money B.
Go
ahead.
No, it can wait.
The whole Digital Underground, how did that whole start? How did everything start from the whole gigs? I remember when it came out, and I was like, okay.
Well,
originally,
you know, that Digital Underground was originally Shock G's baby. You know what I mean? Okay. He started it when he was in Tampa, because you know he went to high school in Tampa, Florida. His crew, you know, Kenny K and some of the other cats. That's where the original concept started. But he came to California, Brooklyn in the Bay Area, and he hooked up with Chop Master J, and they got the first deal in 1988, and they put out Underwater Rhymes with Your Life's a Cartoon. I don't know if y'all got that vinyl. That was in 88, but around the same time, me and DJ Fuse, we were a group called Raw Fusion, and we were doing talent shows and promoting. So yeah, so a lot of people think we spun off from Digital and did Raw Fusion, but we were Raw Fusion before we were in Digital Underground. Just like Tupac had his own shit, Mystic, Saphir, everybody that was in the group really had their own thing. Digital Underground was really like a big production team, under Shock's tutelage to kind of make this happen, and everybody's gonna go out and get their own deal and make that thing happen. It was a plan. Let's make this thing happen and we can all spin off. So we were in essence, we were Wu-Tang before Wu-Tang. You know what I mean? But we just didn't tell nobody. We just kind of did it. So I mean, the first record I was on was What You Like in '89. But we was rocking with Shock and Kenny K and Chop Master J. in '88, we were just on the same talent shows, and they didn't have a DJ, and DJ Fuse was like the hottest DJ in the Bay Area at the time. And, you know, Fuse, my brother forever, he was like, yo, I'll fuck with y'all, but, you know, we a team. So that's kind of like how I got in the group, because they wanted Fuse to be their DJ.
Oh, that's
And that was,
crazy.
you know, that's really how it all started for me. And then also I got to just say rest in peace, Kenny K, because he passed away before the first album came out.
Oh, okay.
Rest in
It's
peace.
crazy because RZA was on Tommy Boy too, right? So that's crazy, right?
Yep. Yeah, Rakim. Yeah, just we was laughing about that. I seen RZA came to the Bay not too long ago, and yeah, I remember he was signed to the label, and probably, you know, I probably let him tell you that better. But with Tommy Boy, it was kind of fucked up because, you know, even though they were independent with major distribution, they still ran like an independent, meaning they really weren't equipped to promote more than one group at a time. You understand what I'm saying? So, you know, Latifah, she was there first. And then De La, I forget if it was vice versa, but whatever. De La blew up. When we came, I don't know what was happening, but, you know, the attention was on us. And we felt that when Naughty by Nature came, you could feel the attention being put on them. You understand what I'm saying? So when they put the attention on one, it was lacking in the other. And I don't think that when he was Prince, was it Prince Rakim? Is that his name?
Yeah,
We love you, Rakim.
Rakim. Yeah.
Yeah,
I remember that because I had the record. And I was like, what? But yeah, he didn't get to play at the time because, you know, we were getting play, and, you know, I forget what year it was, but he never really got to the forefront of that action. And Tommy Boy, they really only could really push one or two groups at a time and really give them the full attention.
Yeah, Tommy Boy had a lot of people on the label. That is crazy. Definitely crazy. Because you think about it, they had Stetson, right? Was it Stetson Sonic? Like, you know, and Stetson Sonic, I believe, didn't even start on
They had
Tommy Boy.
Stetson Sonic. They had I think they had, like, you know, independent singles before, but, you know, I remember as a kid, you know, I had the Soul Sonic Force records and Johnson Crew, and yeah, I remember Fresh Gordon. He was on Tommy Boy. So I remember when we got the deal, I was excited because I'm like, all these records, you know, I thought that I was gonna be a DJ before I was a rapper. So, you know, I got like all these fucking records. So I just remember when we got on Tommy Boy, I was like, yo, I got, you know, I thought we was on.
That's dope. That's seriously dope. I mean, if I can think about those Skyzoo.
Yeah,
How did you and Apollo get together to do your album?
Oh man, I think the first time I met Apollo was in 2011 at A3C in Atlanta. I think that might have been the first time we met face to face. He tells the story, huh?
That sounds about right.
Yeah, it was a beat joint. It was maybe Shot Money or something. It was a beat joint, and it was you. It was Knots.
Yeah,
Just came out.
Yeah, it was
Rock
like
Pop,
it was
maybe.
it was like a Native Instruments thing.
Something like that. Yeah. So we met there, you know what I mean, and we connected and all that. And we had always just talked about working and keeping in touch and all that. And then we went on tour. We went on tour together. It was me and Torre, and it was Apollo and Ugly Heroes. We went on tour in Europe together, and we really got to vibe and kick it. You on tour with somebody for 3 weeks in another country, you know what I'm saying? Like, or various countries overseas, you know what I mean? We was in Europe, and we was rocking every day, just, you know, vibing, building, and the chemistry was crazy. And when we got back, it was just like, yo, we got to work. So we did one joint, did things I should have told my friends on Music for My Friends. And then from there, we did the album. We did The Easy Truth.
Oh, we did Grandeur first.
Oh, yeah. We did Grandeur on your album. Yeah. We in tour. Yep. We
Let
did
me tell
that.
you.
And you was on the Bell Brothers.
That was the first one, wasn't it?
Yeah, that was Got It From Here.
Yeah.
Yep. So it was a joint here, a joint there, and then it turned into, yo, let's lock in and do this whole joint. And we rocked, man. Like, out of all the people that I've done collabo albums with, the chemistry, I'm not saying it because he on here, the chemistry with this man, me and him, it's like working with myself. It's like if I clone myself, like we got so much shit in common. You know what I'm saying? Like the way we work, the things we want to do musically, the things we like outside of the booth, you know, sneakers and sports shit and clothes shit. It's like you can hang out with myself all day. It's great. You know what I'm saying? So like our chemistry is through the roof, man. We did the Easy Truth in 9 days. You know what I mean? Like
we had a common goal in mind. So I mean, that was just to make good music, man. And you know,
we just
like no way else around it, man. It was just good music. We need to make good music. The people wanted it. They had talked about it. You know, people they hit us up on, you know, Twitter and Instagram, and you know, after hearing the joints that we did together, and so yo, when y'all gonna get together and make an album?
Yeah.
Like, all right, well, you know, they want it, we want it, so let's carve out a window, because we was both busy. Like he was busy doing shit, I was busy doing shit, and then finally we was just like, yo, man, I got this little window of opportunity. He was like, yo, I got this too. Let's knock this out, man. Let's do it. And
and the dope thing about it too, the way Apollo worked, when he worked with one MC or whatever, he'll send him a bag of beats, and you know, you have like 2-3 months to write to it, and then come to Detroit and record it over like 3 days. Me, I write everything on the spot. Like I don't write ahead of time and save it. I write everything on the spot. So I was like, yo, bro, we got to do it a little different. I'm going to come to Detroit and write everything there. And he was like, oh, man, you're going to be here for like 2 months working on it. I was like, no, I'm not. I promise you, we're going to fly through this. I promise you. He was like, yo, we're going to be in here like
because he don't know, I don't do that working, that writing the studio shit.
Yeah,
man.
he was like, yo, we're going to be here. It's going to take too long. You're going to be down here for a month or two. I said, bro, I promise you, we're going to fly through this. We did it in 9 days, and I wrote everything on the spot. I was writing 3-4 joints a day. We did it in 9 days. He was like, yo, you said you would do it. I was like, yeah, I fly through shit, but I write on the spot. Like, I can't write ahead of time. I got to write in the studio.
Oh, okay. That's dope.
That's incredible.
Appreciate
the
it.
thing about too is you grew up in Crown Heights, just where you were born at?
I was born in Crown Heights, but I grew up in the Sty. I grew up the block from Biggie.
So you knew Biggie and everything before he had started? And
well, I was a little kid, you know what I'm saying? So, you know, when I remember when they shot the Juicy video, I was like 11, 12, you know what I'm saying? So I was a little kid, you know what I mean? But we was the little bad kids running around when Big and C's and Kim was on the block shooting dice, hanging out, rolling the L. Like, we was the little bad kids running around them. So I didn't know Big. But obviously, if you was in the hood, you knew Big even before he came out. You just, because no one in the hood looked like him. You know what I mean? 6'3", 300 pounds. Like, nobody in the hood looked like him. So you knew who he was before he was on TV. You know what I mean? He was a neighborhood guy, neighborhood legend before, you know, he was on TV or whatever. But, yeah, grew up the block, St. James. And, you know, that was all the inspiration I needed as a little kid. I was already rhyming before Big came out. I started rhyming when I was 9. But when Big came out, I was like 12, about 12, something like that. And that was all the inspiration I needed. I was like, word? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, oh, snap. The whole world is playing this album about your neighborhood. Like, Ready to Die is about my neighborhood. You know what I mean? So, like, the whole world, 2 million people bought this record about my neighborhood. That was all the inspiration I needed.
All right, speaking of that, we'll go to Money B. You came up with Tupac, right? How did you and Tupac meet?
Tupac was in a group called Strictly Dope with Ray Love and their DJ Dizzy. And Layla Steinberg, who was managing them, Gregory, who was our manager, basically them over to audition to TNT Records, which is the base we were signed to. I think Tupac auditioned for Shop one time in the studio, but then the whole group came around the way to audition for us. And I just remember getting called because Shop G and my manager, Spliph, they had a spot together on 39th and Market in Oakland. And they were like, you know, come over here and check these guys out. Because we were H.'s ears. You know what I'm saying? Like, if he was thinking about signing or doing something, if we liked it, he'd consider it. So he had those guys standing outside on the curb. and, you know, exchanged pleasantries, and they started running. And after they did their routine or their song or whatever, I just remember that Ray Love and Tupac, as far as rhyming, you know, they were equal in skills. So they both could rhyme, and they were, you know, so it wasn't like one was better than the other. But after
He got bad reception. You got your reception, you keep like pausing and shit.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, but you keep pausing.
Yeah, let me.
All right.
Roger's up.
You may have to sound back in and keep cutting out on him.
Yeah, sometimes that happens. You know what I'm saying? And
The signal.
I don't want to get his answer cut in and out. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, the story is ill. Yeah, I want to hear the story.
Yeah. Yo, can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you now. Yep.
Okay, so I was just saying, like, they came in audition. I thought Ray and Tupac, they were both cool, but when they weren't rhyming, Tupac just had the personality and the charisma. You know, from day one, he always commanded the attention in the room. So, you know, from the very beginning, you knew that it was something there, but we didn't know to what extent. You know what I mean? But he definitely just had this it thing about him from the very first time you met him.
That's crazy. So you was with him the whole time, the whole Biggie Tupac thing. Did Tupac have, I mean, were you still talking to Tupac when this was all going on with the Biggie Tupac situation?
Nah. You know, I knew Big through Tupac, right? So, you know, and I damn near right after they met and they really started kicking, we did some shit for MTV, that MTV Jam. I don't know if y'all seen it, but we did I Get Around, and I think I'm wearing like the Jalen Rose jersey in his live, like a unplugged. He was there, and we was kicking it there, and then, you know, we had a Gavin convention in San Francisco and different shit. So every time he came to the West, it was like a lookout type of thing, because he was Pac's guy, right? I just remember, now mind you, Tupac had moved to Los Angeles before he went to jail. He had moved to Los Angeles, and then whatever, he was in New York, and all that shit happened. I just remember when Ready to Die came out, I bought the album, and I was, you know, back in the day, you used to buy the CD or album, look at the credits and see who's on there, right? Yeah. And I'm looking all through the credits trying to see Tupac's name, either thanking him or whatever, and I didn't see Tupac's name. And I was like, this is strange. And plus, you know, y'all may know, but that, you know, Big and all that baby, he got that from Big Sight and Pac and them. That's some LA shit that they used to say. So when I heard him on his thing going, baby, and I was like, what? And then I look and I don't see none of, you know, you're not thanking Tupac, you're not nothing. Now, mind you, Pac is in LA and he's going through all of the jail shit. He got shot, but I hadn't spoken to him because when he started running around with, no, this is before the death row shit. But he was just out there doing his thing, and I'm going through my shit in the Bay, right? And it's not like we was communicating every day, but I fully expected to see. I didn't know there was no beef. I expected to see some sort of credit on the thing, and especially when I heard Big talking like that, because, you know, when I forget, and Skyzoo, you might even know, bro. It was a cat. I think his name was something Smalls or something like that. But he was on the road with on one of the tours I was on. I think it was like with Kane and Kid Play and them. He was on the road, like road managing for Kid and Play, one of them groups. But he had Big's demo, so I heard Big's first demo, right? And it was nice, but he didn't have none of that. His demo was hardcore, like how he rap on Machine Gun Funk, like everything is just right. So when I hear the album and he got the laid back shit and what, I was like, and baby, I'm like, man, I was like, he picks something up, but I don't see nothing about Pop. So I was like, something's up. And I didn't know what was going on. And then the shit started leaking out or whatever. But it was just weird to me, you know, because I know that Pop took Big under his wing, brought him to LA and kind of groomed him. Like if you want to be hot outside of New York, you got to switch your shit up. Rap for the bitches, you know, excuse my French. And you know what I mean? Just giving them game about it. And Big was super smart. He picked that shit up and he turned it into his own. And so I'm not saying this to say like he took anything. I'm just saying like he adapted and he maximized everything that he had. But I heard it in its raw form, right? And then I seen what it was, and then I knew how close that they were, right? And then all of a sudden I get this record come out, I'm excited, I'm here, the album's dope, but I'm looking on the credits, I don't see nothing with Tupac on it. And it was a weird situation when I first heard it. But you know, Big was that guy.
Yeah, no, absolutely. Yeah, and like I said, I was a little kid. Like I didn't know none of, you know, like the people you was naming. I didn't know because I was a kid. I was in school and I was just like, this dude from 30 seconds away across the street is out of here now. And it's like, yo, like, you know what I mean? So it was wild, man. It was my whole hood became like Bad Boy. You know what I mean? Like my whole hood was already Junior Mafia, and then it became like Bad Boy Junior Mafia world. And like to this day, I'm such a huge Bad Boy fan no matter what I do hip hop wise or musically, because that was my neighborhood. You know what I mean? It was Bad Boy stickers and posters everywhere. Like them guys raised me without even knowing it. You know what I'm saying? Like it just became a part of us. Like it was like, yo, yeah, the new Michael Jordan, like that's us. He from up the block. You know what I'm saying? Like, and that was it. Right.
So I got a funny ass story about that. So, you know, like I said, I had I knew Big through Pop, right? And then, you know, C's, was my guy. Mm-hmm. But, you know, that was the extent of it, of what I knew. So after all of the beef shit happened, and I think it had to be like, you know, right around 95-ish, I think we had, Digital Underground had an album called Who Got the Gravy? So we were out there promoting it. And we was out there one night, and me and my cousin, we just decided to go out. And we followed to this club, and we trying to go in, and the security is tripping, not wanting us to go inside. And I'm like, what's up? And he was like, man, you know, I don't want no problems. And I'm like, problems, bro? I'm like, I'm 5'3". What kind of problems am I gonna start in a fucking club? And he was like, yo, it's Big's birthday and he inside, and you know what I'm saying, I don't want no shit. I was like, where the nigga at? So I was like, man, I promise you, and, you know, I ain't even on that shit. So I go inside the club, and Big is sitting on the stage and he's smoking a blunt. So I walk up to him and I was like, what up, Big? Happy birthday. And he's like, you know, Big's like, all right. You know what I mean? Like, cause I was tighter with C. You feel me? And he was like, all right. And I was like, you know, one love, whatever. And I remember Lil Kim was sitting next to him. I didn't know her, so she ain't say shit. But you know, C's ran up and we was just chopping it up, having fun in the spot or whatever. And then Puff ran up on me. And, you know, Puff was looking around like, he's like, damn, he's seeing me. He's like, damn, you know, like almost looking like his pocket around. You know what I'm saying? And he was like, yo, he's like, man, my nigga, you out here, like, whatever you want. Just hit me up. Da 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 da. And so he spun off, and my cousin was like, bro, I didn't know you knew Puffy like that. And I was like, I don't. But he was just trying to keep it real smooth because he didn't know what was going on, because they, you know, they see somebody familiar, they just thinking something else might be around. But it was just me and my cousin in the spot. We just fell up in it. I think that was the last time I seen Big in person at that spot.
So Money B.
Yeah.
I must say my favorite joint off that Sex Package was Freaks of the Industry. I must have rewinded that tape for that song.
Right.
1,000 times. That beat was just crazy. But how did that Humpty come about? You know what I'm saying? Did y'all catch any flack? Because we thought it was kind of gimmicky, you know what I'm saying? But it took off. We loved it. But was y'all catching a lot of flack for that, or people just loved it off the rip? How did that work for you?
You know what's kind of crazy? We never caught flack for it because it's just like you said, the beat slapped you in the head as soon as you heard it. And so if you fronted on that beat, then you was corny. You know what I mean? So yeah, so it's like it's really nothing you could say because that song wasn't even supposed to be on the album. Humpty Dance and Freaks of the Industry were only recorded because we couldn't clear the samples for 2 other songs. We had this song that we tried to use Kraftwerk, Man Machine, that didn't get cleared, that Shock Love. It was called Underground Systems. I still got the cassette of that shit. But it didn't get cleared, so they was like, yo, let's we need some more songs. And I remember the night that Fuse and Shock made the beat, but Fuse helped them. They made the beat. They were working on it on the 4-track at the crib, and I just happened to I went out to a club to mess with some chicks. You know, I was in the streets, right? So I'm out, and I remember coming back because I borrowed my manager's car, drunk as fuck, fell asleep on the floor, woke up. They was like, yo, this is shit we made last night. It's on the 4-track. They played that shit. I was like, oh, we out of here. As soon as I heard it, I knew it. I was like, oh, we out. You feel me? But the song was made without there really being there was no dance made, and Humpty really wasn't a character. The first time you seen Humpty was in the Do What You Like video, but there was no name for it. It was just something that Shock just dressed up just to do. And then he just had this idea to give this character a name and make the song about it.
Do you know how many people I know thought there was 2 different people?
Yeah, it was amazing, right?
Everybody.
That we were able.
Everybody.
It was like some Geraldine and Flip Wilson type shit.
Yeah, y'all might have originated the gimmick, tell you the truth.
Well, Flip Wilson and Geraldine did it. That was kind of like the thing of it. But you know, when we would go out, obviously, if you're just looking at it, you see the guy with the nose, and you could say it was gimmicky, but you couldn't front on the music, and that was the thing. And really, and the persona of Humpty Hump was that he was a Mac. You feel me? He was a pimp nigga because in real life, Shock used to pimp. You know, before we got to this music, he had a hoe. He was running the streets doing that type of shit. So he took from real life experience and created this character who was so fucking cool. It didn't matter what he looked like. That's why he dressed in the wildest gear, had the nose and looked awkward, but he was a cool motherfucker and he had the dope ass beats and you couldn't fucking front him. So like I said, like, you know, like, and we knew because when we put the song out, and then, you know, I remember one of the first times we went out, we had to go to Germany. This is in '89. And one of our first shows outside of the Bay Area was with like EPMD, Latifah, Twin Hype. Y'all remember Twin Hype?
Yeah.
Back in the day.
Yeah.
Fucking Daddy Freddie, Soul Soul. It was like this big ass festival in Germany. And we closed the show because our Do What You Like was the biggest song in the country. We didn't know. We had like this 15-minute set. And it was a 3-day festival, but the festival was called the Do What You Like Festival. And we didn't know till we got there. So all these groups, they didn't know who the fuck we was. They was just looking at us like, who the fuck is this? But we knew we didn't have a full set. So what we did was, at the end of our set, we pulled all of the main artists on stage and we just freestyled. And we just went back and forth and we just made it a big party on stage. And from there, we formed a bond with all of these groups. Like I say, PMD and Soul to Soul, and I'm trying to think who else was there. But you fast forward, the Humpty Dance comes out, and by the time we get to New York, we're in a club, and fucking Eric Sermon runs up to us, and he's like, yo, when y'all was in Germany, man, I didn't know what the fuck y'all had going on, but this shit right here, you know what I mean? Yeah. It was like, come on, man. So, I mean, you know, like, there was really never any I don't know what you want to call it, because you know people can look at the Humpty character, you can say is gimmicky or it was, but really the people who are new, we looked at you like you was corny if you didn't get it. You know what I mean? It was a joke on you, Jack. You know what I mean? Because we knew what it was, we knew where we came from, and we knew who we were. So we never felt that complex about anything about that, because we know we was slapping.
I always thought it was a fun record. It was just fun.
It was.
Get people.
But it had the funk. It had the funk in it. That was the thing. So if you was a funketeer, if you really was about that funk, you recognized it. But if you just was watching it from a surface level, you seen this character, this cartoonish looking guy, and the fun lyrics. But the like you said it. But it was kind of like wink wink. If you know this is some Matt Funk shit right here.
Now that bass line was retarded. So
and it's lightweight. One of the
same thing.
I don't know. You got to look at it, but how many people sampled that?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because I do my show, the Going Way Back show. You know, classic hip hop raw and uncut. And I had Eric Sermon on my show, and he was just telling me like he sampled the Humpty Dance on like 12 records, and I didn't even know. He's like, man, I sampled it on Time for Some Action. I sampled it on the Das Effect shit. I sampled it on blah blah blah. It was like it was just it. You know, Can't Trust It by Public Enemy sampled the Humpty Dance. Now Mama Said Knock You Out got the Humpty Dance in it.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, like you don't even know. It's like it's in everything. And it was you know, Shock sample Sly and the Family Stone for the drums, you know, sing a happy song or sing a simple song. But you had to sample the Humpty Dance to get those drums the way that they, you know, it was the drums that were mixed in with the break that made it that thing.
That was that groove right there.
Yeah, it was it. And then the way he EQ'd the, you know, because the hats are just cutting through, right? The cymbals and shit like that. And what's crazy is the 4-track version of that record is sick.
That's
real.
Wow.
That remind me of like Nobody Beats the Biz. It's almost like a blueprint. Like you know, you probably that blueprint. You know what I'm saying? Most
Absolutely.
likely, your joint gonna bang.
I mean, you could play that. I'm sure you guys got some royalties off that just from it being played in all kinds of movies and places and shit like that. Because that song's really big, man. It's the whole that and then commercials and shit. Am I correct?
It was in some commercials. You know, Shock did commercial. Like I think he did a Nike with Charles Barkley and Michael Jordan back in the day. I don't know if y'all remember that. It was like 95-ish. I wasn't there. God damn it. But but he did it. But you know, there was the thing about it was there was even a talk. They wanted to do like a Humpty Hump cartoon, like a Saturday morning cartoon.
Wow.
Shock turned it down because he thought that he didn't want to become too commercial, right? Because you know Shock is, you know, he's a hip hop nigga, and he back then. Think about it, like in 91, 92-ish, nobody had done it, right? So everybody's looking at you, you sell out if you go get money doing something. You know, if you do a Sprite commercial, which Heavy D did, if you do the whatever. I know now we don't think that way, but I'm just telling you what the climate was back then and what the pressures were. And so he was offered, they wanted to do a cartoon. And he's like, man, I don't want to be, you know, I don't want to turn into that. And he turned it down. And it was a few things that he turned down in that light that would have made him more commercial and become what, I forget who was that mentioned that, you know, this cartoonish thing. And he did want to keep the essence of what we were intact. So he turned down a lot of things, which I wanted him to do. I'm like, let's get this bread. But you know, it worked out the way that it worked out.
Look,
Go ahead, Mike.
Play didn't turn it down. I was gonna say Kid and Play didn't turn down their cartoon.
Absolutely. But so I'm saying, like right before that, they had we got offered the cartoon thing because Hammer did it too.
I was gonna say MC Hammer had one too.
Yeah. Hammer had one too.
Hammer
but I'm
did
saying
everything.
like Shock Shock turned down the Sprite thing before Heavy D did it, and I'm not sure.
Were they the only two with cartoons? Was it the only two was Kid and Play and Hammer? Them the only ones?
I don't even remember the Hammer cartoon.
I don't remember another one.
Nah, I remember the Hammer.
Yeah, I
Hammer
remember
had
Hammer.
one. Kid
I
and Play
remember-
had one.
Just in that time, because I know Andre has Class of 3000.
I'm talking about like in the early '90s.
Nah,
around
early
the time
90s.
when
I think them were the
we
only
Yeah,
popped.
back
two.
then it might have just been them. Yeah.
Yeah, I think.
Yeah,
I
Hammer.
think the Sprite commercial. I think Pete Rock and CL Smooth did it, but it wasn't cartoons. Remember the Sprite
No,
commercial?
it wasn't cartoon, but they had the Sprite commercial. But I'm
they had
just
to do
saying,
it,
like,
you know what I mean? Like, I remember that shit. Like,
I
Like,
think
it
Tone
was-
Loc was doing voiceover or whatever.
yeah, Tone Loc, and he did what's it called? Bebe's Kids.
Yeah.
Like that.
Yeah.
And then he did-
But back then
Awesome,
it was controversial within the hip hop community though. Was you gonna sell out and take this and do that, which it all sounds stupid now, but it was a real thing back
No.
then, and you kind of had to make decisions.
You're 100% right, but I mean, was that feeling or that pressure? Do you think it was from your peers, or do you think it was from fans and peers, like other people?
No, it was strictly on what more so about our peers would think.
Because I
And I
remember,
think it's kind of like, huh?
I remember as a fan feeling like the same way, like, oh shit, they're doing this. Like, I don't know who started or created that narrative, but that.
Yeah, but it was out there, right?
Yeah,
So
yeah.
so you didn't want to lose your core audience or supposedly believed to be what you're supposed to be.
Yeah.
So we were all young, so we didn't know, and everybody's moving on emotion. It cost me a lot of money,
I say it kept a lot of people from getting rich.
Yeah.
right?
Right.
Like even because I just had a conversation today about the just the whole sampling thing when people started sampling and then to decide whether or not to go after other people in hip hop for your sample. Because I don't know if you guys know it or not, like that 6 Million Ways to Die, choose one. That's from a Raw Fusion record. That's from my record. My guy Courtney did that. But when everybody thinks Cuddy Ranks did it because he grabbed it from us and he put it out on a dance hall record. So they thought it came, but it was our record. As my guy Courtney Rank, he said that shit. And when we heard it, Cuddy Ranks, he's like, oh, that's dope. Somebody recognizes us, thinking it's a dance hall record, it ain't gonna jump. But then, they use it on Snoop's record, on Funk Flex, and all these people.
That was the first
And then
one.
it was the pressure of, man, because we were bitching about the old, people going after us for sampling the old records, right? So now it's like, do we go after people for sampling our record? And it was we got caught right at that very, like that threshold of where, fuck that, let's get our money, and it's not cool to go after other rappers. And we didn't go after other rappers, and it we left a lot of dough on the table.
I'm probably on that side too, but
Behind
I
that.
feel you on that.
Yeah.
It's weird when I see rappers go after other rappers. Like it's this whole genre is built on something.
So what I've come to, how I analyze it is, you really don't want to go after other rappers and be like, you can't do it or don't use it. But you realize now that they are using your publishing, right? And your publishing is being exploited. When I say exploited, meaning they're using it. So there should be some sort of agreement. You know what I mean?
I agree. You should be a writer on that track. Definitely be a
Yeah,
writer on that track,
exactly. But we didn't know how to address it or to seem cool, because it was just like one of the things at the time. It was a big thing because it was just starting, and so we didn't know how to go about it. So we kind of let it slip through the cracks, and it just.
That's like the PE thing with the 10 crack
Yeah,
commandments.
it's like Chuck D went after.
But Chuck D didn't actually go after them. It was the publishing company that went after.
I saw that.
Right, but who really started going after people was Wu-Tang. They was like, fuck that. Yeah, they were the ones that was like, no, you can't do nothing.
I mean, as
And,
much
you
as
know,
you hear
Maybe
their
because
ad libs on every other song out there.
say what?
I mean, as much as you hear their lyrics on every other song that's out there, or a piece of their lyrics, or their ad libs.
Yeah, if you, they was, what's his name? RZA's brother.
Yeah,
Come on, Jizzle.
Power.
Huh? Power.
Power.
Yeah, he was on top. He was on
Power.
top of it.
Because
Yeah, he wasn't, because he wasn't for no games. He didn't give a fuck about that rap shit.
He just wanted that money. He wanted that bag and shit.
Yeah, he was like, man, I need it.
I
So
don't
that's
know
what it was.
I don't know how true this is, but I think Kanye was in a situation with Young Jeezy where he used his ad libs over a record because it just felt right on the record, and Jeezy ended up taxing him like $70,000 just to use the ad libs on the record. Like,
Hey man, rightfully so. If you
yeah,
if you use it unwarranted, then you just send your representatives to just do, the due diligence of what it is. So I think the thing to do is you still want your piece of whatever it is, but then if you communicate with the person like, look, bro, I know you did it. There's no thing. Just let's let our lawyers work that shit out. Whatever it's gonna be, it's gonna be. Like I'm not trying to kill you for it, but it's gonna be something, right?
Yeah, it's not worth burning a bridge. I feel like.
Yeah, never. I just felt bad for the guy who actually said that, because he looked to me to like, bro, why you didn't go get the owe us money, and he didn't understand that the time lapsed and I couldn't go get it. You know what I'm saying? So that's one of those things that will always haunt me. That just got away from me in several different
really
ways.
a time lapse though, or you know what I mean?
Say what?
Is it really a time lapse, or you could always?
Well, it's. I think it's like after 7 years, things change, and then you look at now. So just say, for instance, one of the biggest records was the Snoop Dogg, the Doggy Style, right? They used it, but by the time that I went and said, yo, let me see what's up. I know I can't capture it from the start, but at least starting now, moving forward, because that record's gonna sell forever. But my attorney's like, look, that Death Row shit is so tied up in everything. It's gonna be, there's so many lawsuits against Death Row and that. Get in line, and you might be 297th in line to even get recognized for it. So it's just one of the things, like I missed the boat on it. And I don't mind sharing that. You know what I mean? So
That's real.
But y'all was under Interscope, right?
Huh?
Was y'all under Interscope?
No, Raw Fusion was signed to Hollywood Basic.
Oh, Hollywood Basic. Yeah, that was
Organized Confusion, Prince Paul. Yeah, that was my guy.
Yeah.
So we were always on fucking promo tours. Like anytime I was in New York, I was in Queens with them.
Nice.
And just chilling.
So you with them or OC and all them?
Yeah, OC, that's my guy.
Shout out to OC.
Shout out to OC. He shouted us out in the record. I forget which one. He mentioned the Humpty Dance and shit.
Yo, Skyzoo, whatever happened with the Duck Down? Why didn't you stick with Duck Down after them 3 albums? Or
just growth and being able to do different things. It wasn't like anything happened. There wasn't no situation. That's family all day. I speak to them all the time. We still break bread from older projects from back then. I still get bread off that, of course. And that's fam. Like, they know if they ever need me, I'm here. If they doing something for Sean Price, of course I'm gonna be there. That's my brother. You know what I mean? So it's love. It wasn't like, yo, man, y'all did me dirty, I'm out. It wasn't nothing like that. It was, you had a deal. The deal ran its course, and I wanted to just try new things and stretch out. And, even working with like Apollo, I wouldn't have been able to do the album with Apollo if I had solely been on Duck Down, because Apollo works solely with Mello. So, you know what I mean? So I wouldn't have been able to do that. So just being able to do different things and build my own thing. FGR is my company, and being able to build my own thing. But it's love, though. It's all love with Duck Down, and that's my fam.
So you still plan on? Oh, go ahead.
I'm sorry, excuse me. And I don't mean to interrupt anybody, but I gotta jump out for and deal with some family stuff real quick. I'm gonna leave my I'm gonna leave everything on, you know, with my mic on mute, and hopefully I can get back before you guys jump off. But I got a little. All right.
Absolutely.
So it's good, but I appreciate everybody.
Good to speak to you. If you don't come back, man, good to speak to you.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, I'm gonna try to get back, but if I don't, I appreciate yo.
Word up.
Skyzoo, we was rocking your shit with Pete Rock too, because on my show, Pete was on my show like about 3 weeks ago, I believe.
Oh wow.
We were playing it, so salute to everybody.
Appreciate you, man. That means a lot.
Paulo Brown.
Word up.
You know,
man.
I'm watching all you niggas.
Yeah.
That's an honor to know, man. Thank you, brother.
You know, old niggas still get down a little bit.
Yeah, no doubt, man. You don't lose it.
Ain't nobody old in the room.
Ain't
nobody
never lose it. For sure. All right, so I'm gonna step out, but if I can, I'm gonna jump back in. All right.
All right, take care of your business, man.
So Sky, so what's your what's your answer? Do you still plan on releasing records with Mello?
With Mello Music? Yeah, definitely. We got some stuff in the works, you know what I'm saying? Definitely. You know, I like being able to be a free agent and move around and you know, kind of like Bron, you know what I mean? Being able to move around and control your own destiny. But I mean, I'm not a Laker guy. You see what I'm wearing, you know what I'm saying? I'm just using that as an example, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
But getting back to Mello, you know, they do awesome work. You know what I mean? We did we did the Easy Truth, then we did Retropolitan, we did Milestones, you know what I'm saying? We got some more shit coming. So, you know, I've been rocking with them for a minute. They do great work, and it's all love. But yeah.
First generation, Rich, that's you?
That's me.
Do you like look for any artists to put on your label, or is it just like how Ace is? It's just for your own self, or?
At the moment, it's just for me, but my ears is always open. You know what I mean? My ears are always open. If I hear somebody that I think just has something that piques my interest, we start having conversations. You know, I haven't put anybody out yet because I feel like if you're going to put an artist out, you got to be able to dedicate the time, the attention, whatever to them the way you would want it to be. Absolutely. So coming up, when I was younger, when I was, 21, 22, had a regular job, if somebody was trying to sign me to their production company or whatever, I had a million questions. You know what I mean? I'm like, yo, am I going to get the attention, the time, the focus, whatever. So I know what that feels like to be sitting there waiting. Because I did those little deals when I was 19, 20, 21. I did them little, I'm running with so-and-so records from up the block. You know what I'm saying? And then you there for like a year. And like, damn, we ain't doing nothing. You know what I mean? So then you get out of that. So I know what that feels like as an artist. So I don't want to do that to another artist. So when the time comes, if it's something that I'm in love with and I got the time and the resource to dedicate solely to it, I'm going to do that. I do have something in mind. I don't want to blow the whistle on it yet, but I do have something that I'm working on that I have in mind for next year. Another artist. It's not me, obviously. It's another artist that I'm like, yeah, we're going to do something next year. So,
All right, so are we going to ever hear another Skyzoo Apollo Brown album?
I would love it, man.
I think we will. You know what I'm saying? If y'all know me, I'm not real big on sophomores. So like all my albums are like, I always treat it as its own entity, you know what I'm saying? They're hard acts to follow, man. Easy Truth's a hard act to follow, bro. So, you always get that sophomore curse, or most people do, where it's like, I don't even want to call it a curse, but that's where the comparisons come in. Everybody like, yo, this joint's dope, but it wasn't Easy Truth.
It wasn't the last one,
It wasn't the last one. Or this one's, man, I don't know. This one, this wasn't easy. You know what I'm saying? It's like, come on, man. Every album's its own entity. Yeah, that's one of my most hated things in hip hop is the comparisons, man. Why we always got to compare this MC to this MC.
Because nobody does that in any other genre.
Yeah, I know. That's what I'm saying, man. It's like, so now you got to compare my first album to my last album or whatever. It's like, yo, they're their own entity. They're not supposed to be, the same. They're not supposed to be. Yeah, it's like they're different. You know what I'm saying? This one might be somebody's favorite, and this one might be somebody's favorite. Like, I don't know, man. But
happen regardless.
I think people do it. I think people do it because hip hop always been competitive, and when it's competitive, comparisons come out. Just like
that's totally why. Absolutely.
Yeah, that's the reason why.
It's an aggressive sport. It come from that. You know what I mean?
Right.
So absolutely.
That's
That's like the NFL. The NFL, you're gonna compare teams all day long. I mean, it's just it is. It's competitive.
I mean, that's what prevents like Jay-Z and Just Blaze to connect with each other again and make bangers, because they always gonna look for the past joints if you can't live up to the past joints, we gonna talk.
A lot of people can't get past them. So
yeah.
You making new music and people don't really want that new music. They want the old music. And it's like, yo, go listen to that album.
Right.
Yeah. So no, but I'm definitely, like, in my mind, I've always had the plans to do another one. You know what I'm saying? Another one with Sky, because it's one of my favorite albums. It's one of my favorite albums to work on. We toured the shit out of this album.
Yeah.
We was overseas we probably did 100 and I don't know how many shows.
Yeah, it was insane.
And, we toured this album for years, and then it was just like, we did everything we were supposed to for this album, man, and everything went right. You know what I'm saying? So, no, I definitely want to do another one. We'll definitely do another one. You know what I'm saying?
So,
again, like the first one, I got my schedules. He has his schedules. We got obligations towards other things, and things that we're either getting paid for or have already gotten paid for that we got to fulfill. But, we'll definitely come together, and we'll come together and do another one. Absolutely.
Can we also expect another type of ensemble album from you too, Paulo?
I just put out, Sincerely Detroit. Man, those are hard to make, bro. Like, I ain't gonna front. Like, I'm not a patient dude when it comes to making albums, man. I don't like sitting on an album and making an album for 6, 7, 8 months, man. That shit just eats me up inside, man. So, I probably will. It's kind of like, as a producer, man, it's one of my, I'm not gonna say obligations. I don't feel like I have any obligations to anybody, but we'll just use that word for now. But as a producer, I feel like it's one of my obligations to do for the fans every, few years or 5 years or whatever to put together a compilation album of, all my, because everybody I work with, I'm a fan of, man. You know what I'm saying? I don't work with anybody I'm not a fan of. So, and I don't work with anybody I got to babysit. You know what I'm saying? If I work with you, I know what you're capable of. I know you about to bring it when you get in the booth. I'm not even worried about it. You know what I'm saying? So, but getting all the music back and waiting on this MC and waiting on that MC and waiting on this DJ, the ladies' cuts, and waiting on this and that, man, is like, it's crazy, man. Like the Sincerely Detroit album, like that one took me probably about 6 months to do, but I got 56 artists on that album, you know what I'm saying? And they're all from the same city. So doing that album was it was something that was necessary. It was something I had to do. Nobody's ever done it. And, but was it fun to make, man? No. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like it wasn't fun to make, but it was, it came out beautiful. I love it. It's one of my babies, but we'll see, man. Grandeur was a little bit easier, and it was less artists on that album, but it was a little bit easier. I might do another one. We'll see. Not anytime soon, though.
Can I ask you a quick question about like when y'all was on tour? Like, what's one of the I don't know, maybe top 3 things you noticed in terms of like when you were doing shows here stateside, and then across the pond?
You already know, man. You already know. Yeah, the support is completely different, bro.
Absolutely.
That's not even. That's why your favorite MC's favorite MC is always overseas. You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
You always wonder, like, cats is like, damn, he overseas again? Yo, he overseas again? I was going overseas like 6 times a year, man. Yeah. And it wasn't just to have fun. I was going over there for a reason. You know what I'm saying? The support is totally different, whether monetarily, whether, you look in the crowd, these cats is chanting your music. They singing your music. Me and Sky doing shows, you look out into the crowd is saying all his words. You know what I'm saying? They're reciting all his words. They don't do that.
And they speak another language. You know what I'm saying?
English
ain't Russia, and they singing, the whole Easy Truth, but they barely know English. So they only understand it because they know the album. You know what I'm saying? And it's incredible, man. Just to piggyback what Apollo was saying, the support is night and day. And that's not to say the States doesn't support, but it's so much more difficult. You know what I'm saying? Like, you tour the States, you got dope nights, you got light nights, whatever. You go overseas, every night is a fucking Drake show. You know what I'm saying? Like every night
is more like a niche type of thing.
It's crazy.
Every night is packed to the wall. It's like Drake doing a show in Miami. Like fucking packed to the wall, a billion people,
Crazy.
selling out of all the merch. It looks nuts. You backstage getting hyped, and you hear them, Opalo, Skyzoo, and you're like, oh shit, here we go, baby. You know what I mean? And it's live.
They there for you. They not there just because it's a hip hop show.
Yeah.
Nah, they're there for you. They're there because you're in town. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's crazy, man. Like I tell people this story all the time when I brought y'all here to do the album, and it just so happened that Friday was a Slum Village show.
Yeah.
Remember that? You remember that?
Yep.
Well, it was Slum. It was Black Milk, Guilty Simpson, Fat Cat. Who else was on that bill, man? Damn, I can't even remember. But yo, that was a bill that overseas you could have easily got 2,500 people at that show.
Easily.
Easily. This show, it was in Detroit. There was like 90 people in the room, man.
And it was probably majority men, right?
I mean, that's usually what it is anyway.
Absolutely.
But it was like 90. It was like 90.
That was
they had that bill.
You know what I mean?
If that bill was overseas, 2,500 people, easy. You know what I'm saying? Like cats outlined outside. You know what I'm saying? Like, come on, man. Like, I just get
all the vinyl with them to get signed. You know what I'm saying?
Oh
like,
man, come on, make photo. You know what I'm saying? Like all that, man. Like make photo, make photo. Yo, I mean, you know what I'm saying? They support, man. They wanna touch you. You know what I'm saying? They want you to sign their phone case. They want you to you know what I'm saying? They buy up all your merch, man. Everything that you put out, man, is gone by the end of the night. You're like, damn, I got like 7 more shows to do and I ain't got no merch left. You know what I'm saying? Like,
so in other words, they give y'all your proper accolades.
Absolutely, man. Absolutely.
Love, man. It's love through the roof. It's love, man.
Yo, you got to really work for it here. You know what I'm saying? You got to work for that shit here.
And that's all overseas. That's Europe, but then that's also Australia, that's Japan, that's South Africa. Like I booked the South Africa stuff. I bought Apollo to South Africa. Ridiculous. Yo, 35,000 people. No typo.
You know what I'm saying? Like a sea of people, man. Just you know, Russia's the same way, man. Russia's like all of them, man. You know what I'm saying? Like that's why we're there all the time. That's why this year, not being able to go overseas, man, I'm feeling it. I'm like, yo, I'm feeling it. Like I'm feeling it emotionally. I'm like, damn, man, I need that.
Yeah. But, see, and that's another thing too, because I've heard this, you know, this conversation brought up lightly. Like, people don't want to, you know, like at least like a stateside wise, that they don't want to sound like the underappreciated rapper, producer, or whatever. So they're like almost even to a certain degree hesitant to speak on it. And there's also a little bit of that. Don't want to give up the secret sauce. Like, that's how I really get my bread, because out here it ain't, you know what I mean? And
man, it's enough room for all of us, but it's like somebody got to speak on it, you know what I'm saying? And I'm not appreciative. You know, I'm appreciative of everything that I get, man, and all the fans and all the family I got, man, and the people that support, absolutely. But I mean, you got cats that just, I don't even know what to say, man. It's like, it's sad, and then they wonder why you're going to take this overseas bread versus this bread in the States that's not even close to what they're giving you overseas anyway. So
they want to throw you a door deal over in the States. Yo, we do this door deal. You know, if we get so-and-so amount of people in there.
Yeah, man, I don't do door deals, man. Get out of here.
If I go to Johannesburg, they putting me in a 5-star room. The bread is on point. The merch is on point. The hospitality, everything is just through the roof. It's like, what we doing? And telling the story, you would hope that telling the story. I get what you're saying. I get what you're saying, Doc, about people not wanting to say it, because it may make you feel like you don't got the juice when you home. Like, yo, I feel like I'm not that hot. If I say that means I'm not hot in the States. It don't mean that. It just means the support is different in the sense of people don't feel the necessity to come out on some hip-hop shit and support. They just be like, I missed that show. That'd be all right. Well, over there, they mad. They like, yo, you was here last month. I missed y'all. I had to come out, man. It was killing me. Boom, 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 boom. They writing you a book report on an Instagram comment like, yo, I can't believe I missed the show. Like, it's just a different thing. I think over here we spoil with it because it came from here. It came from us, so we spoil. You know what I mean? And then it's not the popular shit because it's not on the radio all day. So you got to really be dug in and die hard in to get it. And then make no mistake, when they come out in the States, they come out. You know what I'm saying? Like, there's certain cities where it's like, I've never had a bad show. I never had a bad show in Chicago. Chicago was always out. You know what I'm saying? LA is
certain
always sold
cities,
out.
definitely.
New York
Peter
is
had a
always
bad
sold out.
deal in,
Philly always
DC.
sold out. But certain spots you go to where it's like, yo, the room is all right. It's cool tonight. I'm still getting paid, so it's cool. But this should be different. The way y'all talking on the gram, yo, when you come into so-and-so city, man, you never come here. All right, we gonna come here. And when we get there, oh, shit, word, you was there? I didn't even know you was here, bro.
Yeah, you know
What
what
you
I'm saying?
talking about? You was blowing me up
Like,
on
come on,
DMs for
man.
3 months. Like, you know what I mean?
So Scott,
It's
check
sad.
it out. You was one of the first to really get with West Side Gun and them Griselda cats. So how do you feel that they went mainstream and us as an audience just look at it like, oh, this just came out of nowhere. Where's this underground reemergence coming from? Like, young cats haven't been doing it for the longest prior to them guys.
I knew they was gonna go. You know what I'm saying? Like when I met Wes in 2014. That's 6 years ago. I knew they was gonna go. I just saw it. You know what I mean? Like, aside from being an MC, you know, I feel like I have a great ear. People talk about my ear for beats and all that. So I always know, like, there's a lot of artists, man. Like, I known Joyner forever. Joyner Lucas, that's like my little brother. You know what I mean? Like, we got so many stories of, like, I knew that kid since he was 16. You know what I mean? I knew he was going to go. I was like, bro, you going to go. You out of here. You know what I mean? And so to this day, he's like, yo, Sky, you was one of the first to believe. So, you know, just going back to West, I knew it. You know what I'm saying? Just the energy, the vibe, when we did the Rolex joint, and then when he brought me to Buffalo to shoot the video, I knew it, and that's why I put him on Luxury. But when I did that, I purposely only had him do the hook because I wanted people to look at him like a for real artist. You know what I'm saying? I ain't wanted to just be like, oh, yeah, it was some rapper kid who did a verse on a record. Like, I wanted it to be kind of like when Meth did the hook on Ice Cream. And you always hear the story about how Meth didn't even want to do that. Like, he didn't want to do that hook on Ice Cream. I remember reading somewhere they had to, like, get him into it because he was like, yo, man, I don't want to just do no hook on some female shit. I want to get busy and spit. It was like, nah, just do the hook. It's going to be perfect. I'm telling you. And he did it. And then obviously we see where we at. You know what I'm saying? So it was the same thing with Wes. I was like, yo, I just want something to do the hook. And it's going to be nuts. And it's just going to, I want people to see what I see. Like, I see where this is going to go. I want to make it clear as day for people. I want to put something on the hook. And then he did the hook, and it was, everybody was like, yo, who this kid on the hook? Yo, who that? So you're already looking at him like an artist, more than just somebody who got a verse. You're looking at him like a full-on artist. And he had the formula, you know what I mean? Like, he already knew what he wanted to do. I mean, he had Griselda hoodies and boxes in the trunk when he picked me up from the airport. Like, yo, bro, what size you wear? Yo, large here, take that. Like, he was already on it, you know what I mean? So, that's my brother, man. That's my fam. I'm at Sun House all the time, vice versa. Family functions, it's deeper than rap with me and him. And the whole crew, but me and Wes in particular are really close, you know what I'm saying? But the whole crew, that's my fam.
So, Apollo, how did you get linked up with them?
Oh, man. Let me see. Me and Wes, we did a joint back in 2015. I put him on Grandeur on a joint. I put him on a joint with Planet Asia. And,
wasn't he also on like the Abrasions remix?
No. It was a joint called Triple Beams on Grandeur. That was in 2015. And then trying to remember how we linked up, man. I think I hit him up out of nowhere, man. I just hit him up. I was like, yo, because I was hearing some shit he was doing. I think it was like Hitler Wears Hermes 1 or something like that. And I was like, yo, this dude is I like this shit. You know what I'm saying? This is the type of shit I like right now. So I think I hit him up, man, and was like, yo, man, I want to put you on this album I'm doing, man, on this compilation album I'm doing. And so we was talking for a little bit, and then he got on that album and got on the joint with Planet Asia, man. And that was one of my favorite joints on the album too, man. So I was like, yeah. And then we ended up doing Mr. T.
One of my favorite Apollo beats.
We ended up doing Mr. T, and I didn't really even like. I wasn't even really. I was like, man, that joint, man. I'm like, all right, I don't know. I didn't beef it up or anything. It wasn't beefed up or nothing, man. Usually I'll beef up the samples. Even when I do a drumless track, man, I'll beef everything up, man. And I never beefed that one up, man. I literally left it how it was, like literally as the sample, but. So there's no kick on that shit. There's no there's just no thump on it whatsoever, man. But then it just ended up being a feeling, man. And that's all it was, really. It was like, that shit just turned into a feeling.
And
that rang off.
You hear that? You hear that?
Yeah.
Stress? You hear that stress? A drumless track.
Yeah.
Absolutely, man.
And
Got a
that
whole album.
and that
He
all
can't
goes.
stand a drum. He can't stand a
Oh,
drumless track.
I love drumless tracks, bro. I do one on every.
I said when I make
love
beats,
them.
I can't do that shit. That's what
I
I
gotta
got.
do it, man. I do it on every album.
Yes, thank you, Apollo Brown.
like-
I love it.
Even me and Sky got a couple drumless joints, man. You gotta
Yes,
do
please.
it, man.
Always.
Definitely.
At least one or two.
You know what I'm saying? So
Razzcast kind of said that RZA kind of invented that. And I feel like a lot of producers do that, but we consider it lazy at the end of the day. Like we'll be vibing to that.
Nah,
I don't
man.
consider that lazy at all.
Everything I
Not at
do
all.
is deliberate, bro. Everything
Yeah.
I do is deliberate, man.
Because
That's
it's
the
like
hardest.
you'll be vibing to that loop, like, yo, it sound nasty just like that, but you just
Yeah, sometimes you ain't gotta touch nothing, man. Sometimes the loop speaks for itself, man. It's like you
I agree with
what,
that.
man?
Shit.
Why ruin it, bro? Like,
Yeah.
I'm just
But that,
anyway, man. Yeah, so we did that joint, and yeah, I mean, I'm sure there's more to come. You know what I'm saying? And you know, those guys they killing it right now, man. You know what I'm saying? Like they took off, man. And same with you know, Joyner Lucas, man. You know, that was my man from back. We did a couple of joints back in like 2010 when he was Future Joyner.
Yep.
You know, back in them days, man. You know what I'm saying? And I don't mind being bricks in people's walls, man. Sometimes it's just, you know, that's part of the, you know, the career, man. It's being a brick in somebody's wall. All good, man. Watch them, you know, take off and do their thing, man. Just sit back and know that you know, you was a small part of that.
I would see it more as a stepping stone than a brick.
yeah.
I mean, you know.
Yeah, but you know what though, this brings me back to the last time we were on Behind the Boards and we were talking about how like when you play beats for artists and all of us, you know, you got these ones that you really spend a lot of time and energy. And like you said, I like how you use the word deliberate.
Yeah.
Everything was perfectly planned, mapped out, got the whole thing situated, you know, with laser precision. And you play a record for them and they're like, yeah, it's cool. What else you got? And you play some shit you worked on for 45 minutes.
Yo,
and
MCs is good for that shit,
yeah,
man.
a half an hour beat.
Good for that shit, man.
That's the one. That's the one.
Yo,
Like,
you present them that perfect joint, you be like, yo, this the one. And they listen to it and be like, yeah, all right, what else you got? And then it'd be the one that you just, the whack one, the one that you don't even like, the one you spent 2 minutes on.
Rocko, you are definitely guilty of that.
That's the one they want, man. I'd be like, come on, man.
Yeah, he is.
So many times, man, where I've given records to people, I'm like, yo, man, I probably put like 14 hours into this record, which is like rare, you know what I mean? Like, or even 20 hours. Like I really just kept going back to it and refining it and getting it exactly to where it needed to be, you know, mix wise, all that shit. And then all of a sudden I played the joint up, you know, I was fucking with for 20 minutes. And,
yo, that Mr. T turned out to be the one though, you know what I'm saying? I didn't expect it.
But it was dope. That's crazy.
I didn't expect it at all, man. But it turned out to be, you know, like, all right, man, it's okay. Yeah, I believe you.
That was replayability right there, bro.
It was just a feeling, man. It was a feeling.
I got a question for Skyzoo. Yo, that when I see that the joint on the retro top, the Pete Rock joint. Yeah. When you had them on it and then you put Elzai on it, yo, Elzai destroyed that shit, man. I'm telling you, like when I heard him come on, like that shit, yo, Elzai is one of my favorite rappers, period. I told Apollo like why they ain't did an album together yet, you know what I'm saying? But that was a dope ass. That's my favorite song on that album.
Appreciate it. Yeah.
That joint is crazy, and then you got all of them on it with you. You know what I mean? With Elzai on, that's crazy.
Yeah, I had this idea of just doing a crazy posse cut. Like it had been a while since hip hop had a wild, you know, posse cut lyrical. You get a bunch of rappers on a strip club record or whatever, but it had been a while since there was like an ill posse cut. You got Reservoir Dogs and you got shit. What else is there? I know DMX had a couple. The Locks kept one, but there was always posse cuts back in the day, and it had been a while.
Eastern Conference.
Yeah, 4-3-2-1. So it had been a while. So I was like, yo, man, I want to do this. And I mean, everybody on there is my family. So I knew it wasn't nothing to get them. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's my fam. So when I was putting it together, I remember I told Pete before we even did it, I was like, yo, I got this idea. I want to get boom, 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 all on this one joint. And he was like, yo, you going to get everybody? I was like, yeah, that's my family. Like, those my brothers. You know what I mean? Like, it's nothing. And then he was like, yo, if that's the lineup you got in mind, I got the perfect beat. And he started going through his fucking folder, and he pressed play. And I was like, oh, shit. He was like, yo, this is the one. This is the one for that lineup. And I was like, all right, let's do it. Because I didn't know what I wanted it to be, but I just knew I needed it to be nuts. And when I told him the idea, he was like, I know exactly what beat. And he went through his folder and played that.
Yeah, you needed a band from TV. You know what I mean? Like
band from TV is another one. Yes, absolutely. My bad on that. Yes, absolutely. But yeah, and then when we did the joint, we all was separate. It wasn't like we was in the lab together, obviously. You know what I mean? So nobody heard what anybody else did except my verse. So like I put my verse on it and then I sent it off to everybody. So they only heard me and then whatever they wrote. So everybody didn't hear the full shit until it was done. You know what I'm saying? Like it wasn't like Khan heard everybody else and then wrote, or Benny heard everybody else and then wrote. Like only thing you heard was my verse and you just flew from there. And everybody emailed it in. I actually recorded Wes' verse. Because when I was talking to Wes about it, he was like, yo, I got the lab at the crib, like come through. So I went through and then his man who was supposed to record him wasn't around. So he was like, yo, you know how to work Pro Tools? I was like, yeah, I got you. So he was like, yeah, if you know how to work Pro Tools, I'll do this shit right now. I was like, let's do it. So he wrote it on the spot and I engineered that session. Like I recorded Wes doing the verse for that and shit. And then we just put it together. I put the lineup together. Like I picked who would go first, second, third. Once I had everybody verse, I was like, all right, we're going to put you here, you here, you here. I did all that shit. And then we just flew.
See, that's dope to hear because I mean, like I always, I've been around a bunch of, like MCs that they get in there and they don't even, like they look at the keyboard, they look at everything. They're like, I don't want to touch none of that shit. That's a spaceship. Right. I might fucking end up on Mars by accident.
That used to be me a while ago, but yeah, I'm all right on it. I could record myself. I'm not gonna be able to mix and master my album. You know what I'm saying? But I could record myself, and if I do a feature for somebody, like if Apollo's like, yo, Sky, let me get a verse for Grandeur Part 2, whatever. If he doing something, I could do that. Like I could record my verse, I could put a light mix on it, I could send it back. You know what I mean? I could do all that. But
I don't want that light mix.
Yeah,
light mix. Give me that raw.
Dry. You know what I'm saying? Like, yeah, I could get that. I could get all that. You know what I'm saying? But anything further than that, I can't do. But I can record. So when he was like, "Yo, if you could record me, I'll literally do it right now," I was like, "Let's do it." You know what I mean? And
some people won't complain just because they're happy to get the verse. Dry vocals always. You know what I mean?
Always, man.
Especially if
I don't want no mix on it, man. Give me that.
That's
no dry, just straight dry, raw.
Yeah. I ain't mad at it.
Vocals.
Yeah.
Yo, let me get a story of you guys when you guys are on tour. Some crazy stuff. I know there's a story.
Nope.
You said he did a bunch of shows.
Nope.
It don't have to be no.
Nope.
It could be a music.
Last time, didn't he?
That 35,000 concert y'all did.
That would be the story. You know what? We don't have any stories like that because the way Apollo and I are, and that's why I said it's so easy to work with him. We're like the same person. Yo, it's music, sports, sneakers, vinyl, crack jokes. You know what I'm saying? Like it's pretty regular. You know what I mean? Like you're not gonna get too much more than that with us. You know what I'm saying? Like
I mean, we both family man. I mean, it's literally show. Yeah. It's show, merch, get something to eat, and go back to the hotel, bro.
Back to the room.
Ain't no crazy stories. And we ain't both like hotheads or nothing like that. So ain't no fighting stories or nothing like that going on.
Up on something,
nah, man. You know what I'm saying?
We're both very big on
either one of us trying to get locked up overseas somewhere.
Yeah, we're both very big on composure. Like you gotta know when you're in certain situations, if you get to a certain place where it gotta go, then it gotta go, and let's go there and let's do what we gotta do and let's tear this shit apart. But we know if we go in there, we in this venue and we get it on with some people and tear this shit apart. Yo, we're in like fucking Australia, or we're in fucking Poland. Like we're not coming home. You know what I'm saying? Like it's a different dynamic. So sometimes you gotta use that composure and think your way out of certain things. And thank God we never been in those situations like that anyway. There was never no situation where something got close to happening and we sat down instead of standing tall. Never that. You know what I mean? Like
we both keep it real professional, man. Real professional.
Yeah, I don't care about them cliche violent hip hop stories. something fun. I don't care if y'all went to dinner and whatever.
I'm talking about like a studio, like recording.
We always, you know what?
I don't care about that.
You know what? It's not really a story, but it's a way of life on the road. We always in Europe, we eat the same thing. We eat salmon pasta every day.
Salmon pasta, baby.
Salmon pasta.
Salmon pasta.
Yeah.
Whoever got the best salmon pasta, that's where I'm at, man.
Yeah, that's it. It's fettuccine Alfredo with chopped up grilled salmon in it. And we eat salmon pasta like because the thing about it, when you overseas, you don't know, you don't know the language, you don't know what's what. I don't eat beef and pork. So it's a lot of things, when you overseas, they don't got turkey bacon, they don't got turkey sausage, you know what I'm saying? They looking at you like, why you don't eat beef and pork? What's the problem? Like I personally don't eat beef and pork. So the go-to meal, if you don't know what this country has or if the food is good, salmon pasta. So I'll pull out my phone and have a picture of salmon pasta saved on my phone.
Oh, yeah.
You don't speak the language. So they come over and I just point to the phone like, yo, that. They go, oh, okay. And then 15 minutes later, they bring it out.
Yeah, but even like a fan, like pulling off the sock from their foot and shit and being like, yo, sign this. Like, I mean, do you ever have anything like
Yo, I've signed all kinds of crazy shit, man. Like, I've signed, I mean, I've signed like, obviously body parts and shit like that, but I've signed like, cats that have me sign the screen of their phone, man, with a black ass marker, and I'm like, yo, let me sign the back, man. You know what I'm saying? Like, no, sign the screen so I could see it every time I look at my phone. I'm like, yo, like, what are you
gonna see when your mother texts you? You know what I'm
like,
saying?
come on, man.
Crazy.
It's just, I mean, it's all kinds of stuff, man. But it's just, it's pretty. I don't know. It's pretty normal, man. I mean, I don't know. Like, I just love, like, we cherish that shit, man. So we stay for a long time after the show, man. You know what I'm saying? We try to, accommodate every fan that comes up to us, man. We're not one of those that's like, yo, let's be out, man, and ditch, like, we get down there. We get down there with the people, man. I mean, and sometimes Sky will get down there during the show, you know what I'm saying? Like, and we get down there with the people and they appreciate that shit, man. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? They appreciate that. They look forward to that at the shows, man. Those are the little things that make people want you to come back. You know what I'm saying? And we keep it real professional. We're prompt. We're at the show early. You know what I'm saying? We get there. It ain't no 2 hours late type bullshit. You know what I'm saying? It's like, yo, if show's at 9 o'clock, we're there at 8:30. You know what I'm saying? Ready to go backstage, getting everything ready. Sky got his tea and his lemon and his honey. Yep. And, you know what I'm saying? And I'm sitting back there chilling, man. I might start the show or whatever and bring him out. But it's we keep it real professional, man. And we try to, those are the little things that keep people, wanting you to come back, man. I've seen, unfortunately, man, I've seen a bunch of people not want to get, people, they don't bring them back, man. You know what I'm saying? They'll come out there and promoters will be like, yeah, I'm good, man. This is the last time I'm bringing this dude out.
Yeah. Because
a lot of times us Americans, for some reason, man, we not us, but and hopefully it's a small select few, man, that come out there, and then we have this like this superiority complex, man, when we get out there, like, yo, we're American. You know what I'm saying? Like, we're American, and motherfuckers be like, yo, we don't give a shit. Like,
so you
they be like, so nigga, you in my country now, like, but I'm American though, like.
Yeah, it's like, nah, hold up.
So then heads want to like come to the show late.
Your tour bus.
Heads want to come to the show late. Heads want to order mad liquor and drink all the liquor and be wasted on stage and feel like I could bullshit the show because it ain't gonna get back home. Like, yes, it will. Instagram exists. You know what I'm saying? Like, that video and post that. You know what I'm saying? Like, heads feel like they could take advantage of the promoter and da da da. We don't do that. You know what I mean? Like,
man.
We get right to it. We do good business. We rock and roll, give people great memories, and leave with all the euro we can and get busy.
Absolutely.
And the funny thing is we're in communication, like through the producers corner and all that, Stress created a dope ass environment for, producers from globally all over the place to get together, have these chat forums, video chats, whatever, right? And we hear from a lot of cats from overseas that go to shows.
Yeah.
And they tell us, yo, so-and-so came here. Oh, man, that was the worst fucking show I ever been to. And we're like, damn, like, that's crazy. Like, yeah, they were fucked up. They didn't even remember, like, 90% of their lyrics. One person even passed out on stage, like, fell asleep dead ass asleep on stage. They're just like, all right, this is a good
shit like that. They would never do in the States.
Yeah.
They would never do that in the States.
They get booed off the fucking stage doing some dumb shit like that.
They would never. They would never do that in the States. But they go overseas. I could do whatever. It's whatever. We already got paid. If they don't give us the second half, I'm gonna flip out and fuck shit up. Da 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 da. All right,
old dirty bastard.
Never coming back.
Yeah.
Yep.
But I mean, that shit is crazy.
But I like to go back and make money. You know what I'm saying? Right. So I keep it professional, man. I like to keep coming back.
Can't burn your bridges, most definitely.
Nah, not at all, man. I don't burn bridges with nobody, man.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
So Skyzoo, how did everything go? I know, like, you know, recently you had some, you know, issues with the vocal cords and all that stuff, and you had to put a pause on recording and everything.
Yeah, I had surgery over the summer, so I'm good, as you can hear. You know, my voice, I'm rocking and rolling. Yeah, it was wild, man. I noticed every time I would speak, like, I would get more and more raspy as time progressed. Or if I'm on the phone for a minute, if I'm on the phone for like 30 plus minutes, my shit started getting scratchy and raspy, and my voice might go out. I was doing some shows. I did a lot of touring for the Metropolitan album in the States. Like, I did a lot of U.S. tours. Me and Elzai, we toured together for the album. So we did an East Coast run, Midwest, West Coast, did the whole shit. And, like, the second half of the tour was really bad with my voice. You know what I mean? There was one show where I could not do the show. Like, my voice was absolutely gone. Like, it was like a whisper. Like, it was absolutely gone.
Was it a cyst or?
It was a polyp.
Oh.
Yeah, so I had a polyp on my vocal cord I didn't know about. And when that show happened, I was like, yo, when I go home, I got to get this shit figured out. So we had like another week and a half on tour. And then once I got home, I set up right away looking up doctors and whatever. And then went to a bunch of different doctors and then finally found a vocal specialist. And they put this, it sucks, man. They take this tube and they put it up your nose and go all the way through here and shoot like video of it. It sucks, man. They numb your nose, but it still sucks.
Yeah, that's like
they take like video and pictures of your throat. And they was like, oh, right there, you got a polyp right there. And I was like, oh, man. It was like, yeah, well, we got to cut that out. So we set it up, you know what I mean? And I did it in a window where I would have time to chill. They was like, you're not going to be able to do anything vocally for like over a month. Like, damn, all right. So the first 2 weeks, like, I couldn't speak a word. Like, I was walking around my house with a dry erase board. You know what I mean? Yeah. Like, just, if anything, if I wanted something to drink, I had to, like, write it and show it to my family. Like, it was awful, man. But little shit you take for granted. You know what I mean? It's just, like, little shit. Like, I couldn't yell out to my son, like, Miles, come here. I couldn't do it. Like, it was like, if you do it, you're going to sound like Miles Davis. The story with Miles Davis, he didn't sound like the way he sounds originally. Like, he sounded like you and I. He had a polyp on his vocal cord. They cut it. They said, you can't talk for however long. After like 2 days, he started talking again. And that's why he sounded the way we all know him to sound. So they was like, if you break the code, bro, you're going to sound like Miles Davis. So that was the only thing I was really worried about. I was worried, what if I came back sounding scratchy like that? You know what I mean? But thank God everything worked out and I'm rolling.
Yeah, you don't want the DOC voice or nothing like that.
Like, that's what it would have been. You know what I mean? That's what it would have been. Or if I didn't get it cut, it could have got to that point too. They was like, this thing is just going to grow and it's going to get worse. And, you know what I mean? Then it could become cancerous. So when they cut it, they ran the test. Thank God it wasn't cancerous. So it was a real thing. But I didn't feel, I was knocked out. You know what I mean? Like, it was like, we're going to count to 10. You're going to be gone. Yo, they counted to 3. It was like 1, 2, 3. I was gone. Like, next thing I knew, I woke up in the recovery room. They were like, yeah, we're all done. I was like, word? Like, so yeah, it was wild.
Yeah, I had a boy. I had one of my boys who had a cyst on his vocal cords. And every time he would speak, I mean, he was my age, but it sounded like he had been smoking for 20 years.
Right.
And, you know, he just couldn't say anything. You know, he couldn't, you know, call, you know, the platoon to attention. He couldn't do anything.
Yeah.
So once he finally got that surgery, little did we know this dude could sing.
Wow.
So, you know, he ended up, you know, singing, you know, Star Spangled Banner and, you know, national anthems for like all our veteran shit.
Wow.
And, yeah,
that's crazy. Yeah, like it was a real thing, man. Like, couple records on the new album coming up, I had to re-record, you know what I mean? Because I was recording at the time trying to push through. And then when I listened back after the surgery, I was like, I sound fucking horrible. Like, I got to do this over, you know what I mean? Like, my voice was just gone. Like, it sound like I got a cold. Like I was like, I sound awful on this. Like I had to respit this whole shit. So like 4 records on the album, I had to respit. One of them, no, 2 of them. 2 of them actually sound really dope. Cause not to make this whole thing about my voice, but like some days I would record and I would sound aight, and then some days I record and I sound horrible. There's 2 records on the album. I was like, I'm leaving those. I'm not. That actually sounds dope like that. You know what I mean? But it was like 3 or 4 records.
Raspy voice.
Actually sounds horrible. Like
I used to lose that shit on tour, man.
Yeah.
You know what I'm
That was 2018. You know what I'm saying? Like,
yeah.
and it would act up a little bit, but it got bad. In 2019, it got bad. It was like really, really bad. So
that's definitely. I appreciate you speaking on that because healthcare is really important, especially for everyone, but especially musicians, hip hop artists, and
yeah, this is my instrument.
And the black male.
Yeah,
right.
Yep, definitely.
Word up.
We got to be on camera. We can't be looking crazy, busted, and sounding crazy and all that. You know what I mean?
I was talking to my wife, man. Like I turned 40 this year. I turned 40 back in June, man. I'm like, yo, got to get that colonoscopy and that physical, man. You know what I'm saying? Like, real serious, man. But that's like, I'm like, yo, I'm all for it, man. I'm like, yo, I want to get checked out, make sure I'm good, man. And
yeah,
you know,
you look at Chadwick. That's what Chadwick died from. It was that.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying?
Right.
It was colon cancer, if I'm not mistaken. So it's like,
yo, get checked out. If anything's going down, catch it early, man. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like,
I was just talking to my pops about that like 2 days ago. It's funny. You know what I mean? He's like, your time's coming real soon, man. You got to schedule that shit. I'm like, oh.
Yeah, because the insurance don't kick in until you're 40 for that. So you literally got to wait until you're 40. They're talking about lowering it to 35 now, but you know, now that I'm 40, man, I'm like, yo, let's go. Let's do it, man, because I want to make sure I'm good, man. I got to be around for the kids.
Absolutely.
Sometimes they'll tell you older than that. They may say like 45 and older sometimes.
Yeah, I'm not waiting, man. I got to get it done this year.
They progressively switched it. I mean, I think it used to be 55, then they bumped it down to 50.
50, and then
keep lowering it, which is good, man, to make it more of the norm for shit like that. I know it's a wild procedure. You know, we all like cringe at the thought, but make it more normal to get that shit done, man. Like,
man.
son died off that. You know what I mean? And he was a legend. You know, son died off that. So
I cringe more
normal to get that done.
Of you know, seeing an early grave. You know what I mean? That
absolutely,
that could outweigh all the additional fuckery.
Like I said, I got to be around for the kids, man. I can't be messing around, man. We got to get in there and take care of ourselves.
Yeah, because when we young, we was like, if we think we got something, we think we don't want to know. But as time go on, I'll be like, yo, I do want to know.
Absolutely,
you know?
Like, as early as possible, man.
Yeah.
That out. Word up.
And I'm gone. I'm scheduling.
Well, I'm glad you're good, bro. I'm glad you back to normal, Sky, man.
Yeah, I'm good, man. I'm good.
You tested. You like really tested your voice?
Yeah, because I've been recording. So I'm just still trying to get used to, like, it's weird, right? It's kind of like, I guess you play ball and you tear your ACL, so you down for a while. When you come back,
you get a little scared, a little skittish.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying? Like little.
Feel like you don't know if you're rusty or not. And then like, okay, you know your skill set, you know what you're capable of, you know what you're doing. You start shooting jumpers. You're like, yeah, my form is good. I'm hitting everything, but it just, I feel weird. Like that was a real thing for a second. Like the first time I recorded, I was like, yeah, I might be done with this shit. You know what I'm saying? Like I was there for like a night. Like I didn't sleep good.
Yeah.
I was like, yeah, I might be done with this shit soon because I just didn't feel right. But it took a couple sessions to get back to myself vocally. And the doctor said that. He was like, that's typical. Like, you know what I mean? Just work up into it. Now I'm straight. You know what I mean? That was like the end of August. So now I'm back to normal, rocking and rolling. You know what I mean? I haven't done a show. So I'm curious as to what the show game is going to be like. But recording wise, I'm good.
Right. And even with the little rasp, you know, there's a lot of artists out there, man, that's strictly famous just off the type of voice that they have. You know, that little bit of rasp, you know.
Yo, the night before the surgery, the morning of the surgery, I was ready to call it quits. I was like, I ain't going. I'm gonna just have a raspy voice as a rapper. Like the whole time leading up to it, I wasn't worried about it. The morning of, I got worried. I was like, yo, I don't know if I want to do this. I was like, I don't know if I should have did this, man. Like maybe I should have just not got on this shit and said, fuck it. I was like, yo, I could just have a raspy voice. I'm good. Just whatever. And then I was like, oh, come on, let's just go do this shit, man. Like
now,
did it.
the only thing you got to fix with the recording is that light mix you be sending out. You know what I mean?
Yeah, right.
I don't even want to get my wisdom. I don't even want to get my wisdom teeth taken out because I think I might talk there.
Trust me, you definitely want to get it taken out.
Yeah, do that, man. I had that shit done when I was 17, man.
I got that shit done in the military.
I still haven't done that. They said if it don't bother you like that, don't do it.
Yeah, but
it'll start fucking up your teeth in the front. You know what I'm saying? So
not only that,
I mean, that ain't nothing compared to what Sky went through. To fucking go in your throat, your teeth is right here. You know what I'm saying? You're going inside your.
No,
I'm just saying how simple life is. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I'm really like touching my neck shit. I don't like that shit. So I understand how you
that shit sucked, man. Like, and then every time I would do a checkup, like I did a checkup last week. Yeah, last week. Every time I go do a checkup after the fact, all right, let's go. They numb my nose and they put the tube up and that shit is awful, man. Like it's really awful, man. They numb you so you don't feel it. It's awful, man. So
you still feel that pressure though.
You feel afterwards, like when it goes away and shit. Do you feel anything?
Yeah, it takes like 30 minutes for the numbness to go away. You know what I mean?
But then you feel anything after that? You don't.
Oh no.
You don't even know they did it.
Right. Yeah, all right.
So how y'all all doing with this this pandemic, man? Like y'all taking care of yourselves, y'all being safe?
Yeah, 100%. I'm future, baby. I'm masked on. You know what I'm saying? Like
absolutely,
I'm
man.
on,
absolutely.
100%. Like
shit, I'm like Sub-Zero, man. I got all kinds of masks. And
yeah, man.
Scorpion, all of them. I'm masked up.
Yeah,
I'm masked up, but I'm definitely not staying in the house. Like I've been doing showcases every week.
Oh, y'all got showcases?
Yeah.
Like out at a venue?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
You talking about?
I ain't done a show in like a year, man.
I put a comment on one of your posts, man. It's like if you're ever in DC, hit up this dude, man. We got weekly showcases out in DC.
Oh, you talking about when me and Guilty was talking?
Yeah.
Is that what yeah. No, me and him was bullshitting. We ain't about to go nowhere.
Yeah.
So, because he was like, man, I'm ready to go. Let's go. And I'm like, yo, I got the show set right here. Let's go, man. I'm like, nah, we ain't going nowhere. We bullshitting. But nah, man, it's like, especially when you got a family, wife and kids and stuff, man, you want to keep them safe, man. So, we don't make too many trips, man. My daughter just started actually in-person school today. They was doing virtual for the last 3 weeks when school started. And so now she's just doing, my son's still at home doing virtual. My daughter, she, so around here, they're starting with the little kids first. And so they're ushering the little kids back in first. And then the next month they're doing the middle school, which he is. And then the next month they're doing high school. So where I live, it's they're taking it gradual. And for the first 3 weeks of school, they was just doing virtual. But yeah, man, I mean, so she's doing that, 2 days a week and then the rest virtual, whatever. So it's kind of a hybrid program. But yeah, we don't really go many places, man. I go shopping, I go get the groceries and stuff, man. And, we might go to my in-laws, man. But you don't really see us out at no parties, man, or no, we did a few restaurants, man, outside, but we trying to stay safe, man, trying to keep this out of our home. So
yeah, same here, man. We doing the same thing. Like I go to the supermarket, I go wherever. But I haven't been to no club. I haven't been to no event. I haven't been, you know what I'm saying? And they're happening. Like you see them. Like I live in Atlanta now, and in Atlanta they're happening. Like heads is going to Blue Flame, heads is going to Magic City. You know what I'm saying? And I'm like, not me. You know what I'm saying? Like I'm chilling. I'll go to restaurants. We do go to restaurants. You know.
Yeah, we go to restaurants or whatever. Especially if they get outside
and all that. You know what I'm saying? Masked on until the food come. Eat, then put the mask back, whatever. Few people at the crib, but it's people that I know what they up to. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
I know the type of person you're. Like if Apollo was in town, 100%, because I know the type of individual he is. So I don't gotta worry about that. Yeah, bro, come through, throw some shit on the grill, whatever. But having 100 people at the house and all that, like I used to do before this shit. Nah, before that, the backyard used to be stupid, but now, like, nah, that shit is dead. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, that's like I've just been chilling, staying tight with family, a handful of friends that I know ain't out there all crazy like that. Basically the same shit you said. And then like Stress just recently had an event, but there was only like, a handful of people there. It wasn't crazy like that.
Right.
That's good. Yeah, that's good.
Only one person had a mask.
Yeah.
So y'all been finding that you know, y'all been able to be creative during this whole thing? Or
that was my question to you, because I know you said your creativity inspiration was compromised.
Yeah, I just wasn't really,
man.
You know, in the 8 months or whatever that's been going on, man, like I haven't really been able to be as creative as I want to be. You know what I'm saying? There's so much personal shit going on, and so I'm just now starting to really like, all right, cool, I'm getting down into it. But luckily, I'm sitting on music that I can release and shit like that or whatever, and I'm working on stuff. But man, being creative, man, was hard for me, man. Which I know a lot of other cats would use this time to like, yo, man, it's
really crank.
Yeah, I mean, you know, quarantining is what producers do. You know what I'm saying? That's what we do anyway. You know what I'm saying? We down in the basement by ourselves, away from everybody else, all day, every day. That's what we do. Yeah. So that's easy. You know, so I know a lot of cats that found this time to, you know, really be creative and make just crank out beats, man, and make albums and make this and that or whatever. Me, man, I couldn't do it, man. I was just like, I didn't have inspiration, bro.
You know what?
I'm sure it's the same for writers also. You have to get out there. Like we could stay in the house secluded, but we want to take that drive. We want to go sit around and observe the environment and see what's going on, have something to write about or find something.
Yeah, and I like to, when I write, especially like now, you know, I'm working out of the crib. I think even when all this dies down, I'm still going to be recording at the crib because I got a like legit setup. Like my mic is great, but fucking Pro Tools is the newest one. So I'm good at the crib, but I like to like kind of be alone and like with my son and my Wiz, everybody at the crib all day. I don't get no break, you know what I'm saying? And then when they go to bed, then I could work. So I'm working like, you know, 10 p.m. to 2 a.m. because then I got to go to bed because then I got to get up and get him ready to go to daycare and cook breakfast. So I'm like, I don't even get in the right zone, you know what I'm saying? I'm like trying to carve out a little bit here, a little bit there. But, you know, I'm pulling it off, you know what I'm saying? The album's coming out and all that. But just being able to sit there and just do nothing but create, I haven't really been able to yet because there's always somebody around. You know what I mean? Like, there's always somebody around. My son thinks the basement is his basement. Like, he play with stuff down here like it's toys. He playing with vinyl. I'm like, Miles, put that back there. It's expensive vinyl. You know what I'm saying? Like, so I can't really create because there's always some action. You know what I mean?
Yeah, true. Same here.
Sample challenges keep me creative. I ain't on for it.
Yeah, as many people are doing the whole challenge with samples things, man, there's always something to do for me.
Yeah,
I'm trying to get this question.
Writing comes natural. Writing just comes natural.
Yeah.
The album you said you got coming out. Talk about it.
Yeah, so my next album, it's called All the Brilliant Things, and I feel like I've been working on it for a while, man, because I started working on it August 2019. Yeah, so it'll be almost a year and a half by the time it comes out later on. I never worked on an album this long. You know what I mean? I worked on it and then I paused it because I started working on Milestones, which was the Father's Day EP. I paused the album to work on that because I wanted to get it out in time for Father's Day. Then I picked it back up a little bit. Then I had the vocal surgery. Then I picked it back up again. So I never had this much time on an album, you know, but it's dope. It's extremely layered. It's extremely poetic. There's records on here with no hook where I'm just going wild for 82 bars or something. There's like multiple records like that. A lot of times an artist will give you one record like that. There's like 4 of them on here where I'm just going for 4 minutes straight. You know what I mean? I just had so much shit to say, you know, and super excited about it. And the theme of it, it's a conceptual album. The whole thing from A to Z is a concept. And it's about gentrification. You know, the whole album's about gentrification. Being from Brooklyn, but now living in Atlanta for the past 2 years, I have nothing but material to speak on when it comes to that. Like, This is why I had to leave Brooklyn. You know what I mean? Like, this is where shit is at. And it's not a Brooklyn thing. It's a Brooklyn thing, a DC thing, a Detroit thing, a Chicago thing, a Miami thing, a Atlanta thing. It's an everywhere thing. You know what I mean? And I wanted to speak on that in all of its layers, man, on every side of the fence that there is and how it affects us as a people. And that's just what I was inspired by. So, yeah, it's called All the Brilliant Things. And I don't have a date yet, but soon, because I'm right at the end of it. I'm like 95% done. And, you know, we live in a generation now where you could just turn shit around. It's not like the album is done. It's coming out in 4 months after it's done. Like, those days are over. You know what I mean? Like, you could do that if you want, or you could finish your album today and put the shit out Friday. Like, so, you know, I don't know the date yet because those are the two balancing acts that I'm kind of juggling with.
What you got for production on it?
Oh man, is it too early to get into that? Nah, I give you that. This is the producer's corner. Who's on it? A lot of new guys, man. So my man Mark Infinite, he's been on a lot of my stuff. Twami is on it.
Ooh.
Yeah, Twami. I love Twami. Twami's on it.
Norfolk cat.
Yeah, he's awesome. Hold on, I want to give y'all. Now you kind of got me wondering.
No cooking soul? No cooking soul?
Nah, but we need to fix that. We need to fix that later on. I actually did a joint on it. Huh?
You see, you need to do one more track, and you got Apollo Brown in here.
Yeah. I know the door open, man. My man Kenny Keys, Thelonious Martin is on it.
Ooh, okay.
Who else? J.R. Swifts is on it. My man Hadi is on it. I actually did a joint.
Oh shit.
Oh
Yeah,
shit.
a little bit.
Oh,
Me and my man J57. J57 coached me through it. So me and my man J57, but I did a joint on it. Yeah.
J57 on that.
Y'all don't know Skyzoo did most of Luxury.
Word.
Yeah.
Really?
Oh.
Yeah. Me and Illmind coached me through it. Yep. But that was the first joint I did. Like, all right, I want to make a joint. Like, I went to him with the idea, the sample for this, the sample for the drums, the sample for that. And yeah. I was like, yo, bro, can you show me how to do this? Like, just show me what buttons to press and all that. And he coached me through it. Yeah.
Yeah, that's dope. That's how I started making.
Dolls are hardware.
Remember you said I was gonna send you the shirt. You're like, why I'm not a producer? Well, you actually is a producer.
Well, I guess so. I'll be having a million ideas, man. I tried to make one by myself once. My man Ayers, he gave me a machine. Yeah, I was chopping up a sample. I think I was messing with a sample for like 3 hours. I was like, yo, I'm out of here, B. I don't even want to do this no more. Like, I'm out. But like the sample started getting old to me, like, cause I knew what I wanted, but I didn't know how to, you know what I mean? Like on the buttons and
you can manipulate it like you wanted to.
It's not exact. It's not looping right.
Right.
I was like, I'm out. Let me go get a beer and watch this game. I'm out. but if I got somebody coaching me through it, like, yeah, we do this. All right, cool. Then we could cook. You know what I mean?
You got any plans to do anything else with Ninth?
If the future tells it, you know what I'm saying? I don't know. You know, I'm definitely open to it. You know, we never know what's in the future. I ain't speak to Ninth in a minute. Actually, I spoke to him. His brother passed a couple months ago. I spoke to him for that. Other than that, I hadn't really spoken to him in a little while. But you know, you can never say no. You don't know what the universe and the future got in mind. But I always say, man, even if we never do anything, I'm super indebted and grateful for what we did. Because when nobody was checking, he was checking. You know what I mean? And the reason why we're on here right now is because Son was checking back in 05, 06. You know what I mean?
I was listening.
Nah, I appreciate you. You.
I'm
Regardless or whatever, we may never do another joint. Shit, we got like 40 joints, but we may never do another joint. But you can't erase what was. You know what I mean? And I'm appreciative for that being the opportunity to open the door for me, because all I wanted was to kind of get the door open. I just wanted to get in, you know what I mean? So that I could get with people like Apollo and, you know, people like Illmind and people like y'all and just everything I've been able to do throughout my career. And Son was down to help me open the door. So, you know, I'm always going to be indebted for that, if nothing else.
Yo, let me get a top 5 rappers, MCs from Skyzoo.
Oh man, in no particular order, it's easy. Big J, Nas, 3000, Most Def, Black Thought, like a tie, something like that.
That's crazy. That's pretty much like my list right there.
Are those the 5?
I thought of it that quick.
Are those the 5 MCs that made you want to write?
No, Big J, Nas for sure, but you know, 3000 and Black Thought and Most, like they were a little later. Like I was already rhyming, you know what I'm saying? I I started rhyming because of Chi Ali. Like Chi Ali was made me want to rhyme. Yeah.
Word.
That reminds me. I was telling Stress this a while ago. He was actually sitting in my hometown right now.
Yeah. He be out there a lot.
Yeah,
his family and all that. He be out there a lot.
Yeah, out there in Waldorf, Maryland.
Okay. I didn't know what part, but I knew like DC, Maryland area, you know what I mean? But yeah, when I was 9, she was like 14, 15 when he dropped AJ Nothing But a Number. And when I saw the video, I was just like, that's what I want to do. Like when the video went off, I literally told my mother, 9 years old, I was like, Ma, that's what I want to do. That's what I want to do. And that was it. So Chi was the reason I started rhyming. But then as the years passed, I always was about like the guys who were saying something. I always was about the guys who had something to say. So it became like Nas and Big and The Genius and, you know, Jay, Ray, and, you know, all those types of things started coming into the fold when I'm in junior high school. And now I'm in high school rhyming and going crazy. And that was, you know, how it all was transpiring.
That's crazy. So if you could, you worked with every producer that you ever wanted to work with. Am I correct? Or?
For the most part, yeah. I've been blessed. I worked with a lot of producers that a lot of people haven't had the chance to, regardless of where they are on the ladder. You know what I mean? Like it's been a wild ride.
If you could pick another producer to do an album with, who would you pick?
Who I haven't already?
Yeah.
Yeah, Brown.
Spike check.
I didn't hear it at first. I was like, I don't know, man. I always was into Mad Lib. I always been a Mad Lib fan.
Oh yeah,
that's dope.
I mean, Pharrell, I think is one of the greatest ever, without a doubt. Love Just is obviously fucking amazing. Just Blaze. I don't know. Al, I think Al. That could be something wild. You know who I really see. I mean, I would love to work with them. It's people I know personally, like Odyssey. Like I think me and O would be nuts because I'm heavy into the jazz and the instrumentation. Odyssey would be nuts, and that's my man. Black Milk would be nuts, and that's my man. But I'm only naming people I haven't done whole albums with. Like even with Black, like me and Black got a bunch of records. I think me and O got something. We might.
I can get his bassist for you.
Huh?
I can get his bassist for you.
Who's his bassist?
Dude named Fire Archer. He's out in Silver Spring.
Okay. I know his drummer. His drummer's my man. But and I know O. Like me and O are real cool. You know what I mean? Like be at his house and all that. But we never did a whole album. You know what I'm saying? So that's somebody, you know, one of the people I wouldn't mind doing something with for sure. I know that'd be nuts. But if we talking in general, and again, I'm not just saying this because he here, but Apollo, like, of course, you know what I'm saying? Like, the chemistry on that was so, like, through the roof. Why are you smirking over there, man? I'm just the chemistry was so through the roof, man. Like, yo, we flew through that album. You know what I'm saying?
That's the thing, man. You want to make albums with so for me, man, it's not just about like, it's not just business, man. It's like I make albums with people that I like to get to know, man. I like to be around. You know what I'm saying? It's and I told y'all this before. It's like my beats are like my kids. I'm not gonna leave a babysit with my kids without interviewing them first or getting to know them first. You know what I'm saying? And me and Sky got to know each other before we even started working, man. And it's I like-minded people. I like being around positive energy. You know what I'm saying? And I like to work with cats that, you know, I enjoy being around. You know what I'm saying? Because if we got to go on tour, you're going to want to enjoy being around this cat for 4 weeks.
Yeah.
How many times? You know what I'm saying? Like, and we enjoy touring. You know what I'm saying? We enjoy being around each other. You know, and we enjoy working. We enjoy getting in the studio, man. So it's more than just business, man. It's more than, you know, it's about, you know, that relationship that you develop when you're working on an album, man, and working on a project and touring that project and whatever else comes out of it. You know what I'm saying? Like, so yeah. No, I definitely, you know, what he's saying. I get what he's saying. It was a perfect marriage, man. We're gonna do it again.
Yeah, like it was, you know, I don't know like I wasn't in the room when he did his other albums, obviously, but when we did our shit, we flew through it. You know what I'm saying? Like that shit was like,
Hey,
done.
Apollo, are you gonna do another like you did the Brown tape? You gonna do another remix album?
Actually, the Brown tape wasn't a remix album, man.
That was an original album.
It was an original album, man. It was a version. It wasn't a remix. The way I don't even want to get into the way I made that album, man. But
that album was dope as fuck, man.
That was one of the most difficult albums to ever make, man. And I hated
dope.
every moment of it. Hated every moment of it, man. So
I love the
remix album Abrasions though.
That was we redid that one, yeah, Abrasions, yeah. That was on some drumless shit right there.
That damn vinyl crackle through the whole shit was so fucking epic.
Oh man, it's vinyl crackle through everything I do, man. That's like one of my favorite sounds, man.
That right there is just like
that's the seasoning, man. That you got.
Yeah. It's like the Beetlejuice shit when his head get little. It's just like
Yeah, man. You got to do that.
Yeah, that shit was dope.
Yeah. So and Skyzoo, I saw like you saying in the past about you wish you could have worked with Jay Dilla too and shit. Like,
yeah, that'd have been awesome.
Yo, yeah, I mean, Dilla's probably my favorite producer ever. But not like, you know, one of three, you know what I'm saying? Like, Dilla's at the top for me. It was wild, like, when I first came out, people thought I worked with Dilla. People was like, oh, yeah, he worked with Dilla. And I was like, I never worked with Dilla. Like, what happened was 2004, 2004, 5, something like that. I think it was 4. I met Dilla in New York at BB King's, and I knew he was gonna be there with Doom, with Madlib and Doom. They had a show off the you know, when they was doing the Madvillainy tour or whatever. And I mean, this is 04. I had a regular job. Like, nobody knew who Skyzoo was. I was just some dude on the train going to work every day. And I had this CD because I used to always freestyle to Dilla beats or do mixtapes with Dilla beats. A lot of them shits was like Frank and Dank instrumentals and Slum Village instrumentals. And I would just take them and just rock them and do the 50 Cent shit. Make your own song out of somebody else's beat, put it on the mixtape. I was doing the G-Unit shit. So I would always use a lot of Dilla joints. So I took all the Dilla joints that I did and put them on a CD, and I put a cover art to it. But I only printed like 2 of them up, like one for Dilla, one for me. So this shit really doesn't exist. And I knew someone was gonna be there. I waited till like 4 a.m, and they finally came out, doing with no mask, all that shit, whatever. After the show coming out, boom, boom, and I saw Dilla, and I was like starstruck. And I was like, yo, and I pressed him, boom, boom, and he was mad cool. Gave him the CD, and when he saw like I had printed up artwork and all that, you know, I forgot what I called it. Whatever I called it, I don't know. I made like a name, or like I packaged it kind of crazy. He was like, yo, this shit is crazy. And I gave it to him. And then he was like, yo, take my number. And I was like, yo, was this like your assistant or your manager? He was like, nah, this is my number. And I was like, word? He was like, yeah, take my number, yo. Gave me his number, boom, boom. And like a week later, I'm at the phone, like nervous to call him. Like I'm sitting there, like handshaking, like I'm gonna call him. Nah, I ain't gonna call him yet. I'm gonna call him. So then I called him, and he picked up. And I was like, yo, what up? This guy's who I met you at BB King. He was like, oh, yeah, from Brooklyn. Yeah. I was like, yeah, what up? He was like, yeah, I listened to your shit, man. That shit was dope, man. That shit was super dope. I was like, word, your shit was crazy, whatever. He was like, yo, I'll definitely send you some shit. And I was like, what? He was like, I'll definitely send you some shit, man. Like, you know, if you want some shit, I'll definitely send you something. So I was like, all right, bet. So I'll never forget. He was like, I want to send you some shit that I didn't already send to nobody else, because I don't want you to pick something and then Common pick it or Erykah Badu pick it. I remember him naming them specifically. He was like, I don't want to send you some shit that one of them or somebody else picked, and then I got to take it back. I want to send you your own batch. So he was like, yo, give me a couple weeks. I'm going to make a new batch, and I'm going to send you some shit from the new batch. And I was like, oh, shit. Yo, I got a regular job, and I'm getting ready to get beats from Dilla, so I'm flying. I'm like, yo, this is crazy. So I waited like 2 weeks, and then I called him, and then he was like, yo, the funny thing is I'm in the record store right now buying records. I was like, oh, word. He was like, yeah, I'm about to chop some shit, blah, 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 whatever. I think that was the last time we spoke, because after that, he got real sick again. And no, we spoke again, and he gave me a L.A. number on him. He was like, yo, this is my other number. I'm about to be out in L.A., boom, boom. And then I called the L.A. number, so I had both numbers on him, but then that was the last time we spoke. And I think the LA number might have been a crib number. Because I know he was living in Common in LA. That might have been a crib number. I don't know. But yeah, that was the last time we spoke. So when I used to tell that story when I first got on, people heard that and thought I worked with him. So for a while, like my Wikipedia said I worked with him. And I was like, yo, I never worked with him. Because then you got these diehard Dilla stans that are like, who are you trying to capitalize off Dilla name? And I'm like, yo, chill the fuck out. Like, I never said I worked with son. You know what I mean? Like,
did you ever get a
little bit? And
I'm gonna tell his mama.
You know what I'm saying? Like,
I'm gonna tell his mama.
Speaking of which, did you ever get a hold of Ma Dukes?
Yeah, she's stupid cool. Yeah, Ma Dukes is stupid cool. We whenever we around each other, it's love. She know everything that I've been doing as far as like just the love I show Dilla. She's always like, yo, Sky, thank you so much, blah, 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 whatever. The whole fam, like, you know what I'm saying? Like they all rock with me crazy. Shoes is my man. So it's all love, you know what I mean? But yeah.
Yeah. I got a question for you real quick, right? Because I feel like that's like you touched on something that kind of resonated with me about like, you know, when you get like a beat package from somebody, how long does it typically take you to respond? You know what I mean? Because I'm kind of in a situation right now currently where I'm sending out beat packages to, you know, several different artists.
Yeah.
And it's like, yo, there's a lot of shit out, you know what I mean? That I'm gonna have to restock the chamber, and I haven't, you know, like some people got back, some people didn't. So it's like, and I don't want to give those records out, but at the same exact time, you know what I mean? Especially if I already, you know, had somebody else's ears on it first.
Yeah.
I'm running into that problem where I'm like, damn, like when is it too long? You know what I mean?
I feel you, man. Sometimes like if somebody email me some beats today, I might not check it today. It might take me a couple of days. It might take me a week. I try not to let it go past a week. If it's somebody I'm dealing with directly, like Apollo or, you know, whatever, something like that, Illmind, I'm usually checking those right away because that's my man, and we got a history, and they own.
And I'll be like, nigga, I sent you an email, man. What the fuck's wrong with you? Check that shit.
Wait, what happened? What happened?
I said, then I hit you up and be like, yo, nigga, I sent you an email, man.
Oh, right. Yeah, nah. So like those, I check those right away because I know them. You know what I mean? Like I know them personally. We fam. So like, if Apollo like, yo, I just sent you some shit, I'm probably checking that in 10 minutes. You know what I'm saying? Like, I bet, you know, whatever. If it's somebody that hits me randomly, like on the gram or whatever, I try to listen to everything. Sometimes it may take a couple days. I try not to let it go past a week for reasons like you gave. You know what I mean? And then when I listen, I respond right away. So, because I know the clock is moving, and I know you might be waiting to see, yo, we gonna work, we not gonna work, what's the motive, what's the deal, boom, boom. So I try to get back as soon as possible. And when I listen to beats, I could tell in the first 10, 15 seconds, 30 seconds, like I could tell right away. You know what I mean? Like I never listen to a whole beat and then decide.
Yeah, exactly.
If I listen to the whole beat, it's because I already decided and I just want to keep hearing where the shit goes, but I'm already sold. Like you already sold me the car, I'm buying it. I'm just looking in the trunk and looking at the seats and the upholstery, but I'm already sold. You know what I mean? Like exactly. I could tell in the first 30 seconds. I remember as a kid, I remember Dr. Dre was on the cover of The Source, and he had said something like that. That's where I got that from. He was like, I could tell in under 30 seconds if I like a record or not. Like right away. I could tell less than 30 seconds if it's worth my time. And I adapted that motto. Like, yeah, like, absolutely. You know what I mean? Like, I can tell right away. I don't gotta, if I gotta listen to the beat for intro, verse, hook, verse, and still don't know what we doing. You know what I'm saying? Like, I can tell right away, oh, this shit crazy, or, this shit all right, or, nah, I ain't on this. You know what I mean?
Yeah, because if it's a maybe beat, then it's going to be a maybe verse. You know what I mean? Like, I might come off on this, might not, and I would actually like to redirect. I know Apollo doesn't traditionally like to do, he's, you know, I remember the last time we had spoken, he said something about, like, you know, he'd rather do albums. He's not necessarily into the placement game.
Yeah, I'm not a big placement producer. I never have been.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? If I get placements, cool. You know what I'm saying? If you know, I have joints on this album and that album or whatever. You know, I play my role as a producer, definitely, but you know what I'm saying? I've never been a big placement. I don't shop beats. You know what I'm saying? I've never been like, yo, I'm gonna shop beats all over the place and just try to make a mark. Like, I've never really been that guy. It's like I'd rather make complete albums, you know, with my favorite MCs, you know what I'm saying? And just kind of go with that. But
But when you do, when is like the traditional cutoff where you're like, all right, you know what, enough's time.
Yo, if I ain't heard nothing, man, like, you know, I may even give it like 6 months just on some like, again, I don't send out beat packs, you know what I'm saying? So it's not like I got a, you know, this certain set of 20 joints sitting out there in everybody's folder, you know, everybody's inbox or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
I don't do it like that. But if I send a beat to somebody, you know, and it's like, yeah, I'm about to do this, or this is the shit right here, and we about to, and they sitting on it and sitting on it and sitting on it and sitting on it, you know, I'm gonna hit them up, be like, yo, what's good, man? Like, you do anything to this joint, man? Like, what's going on? What we doing? And you know, I'm saying, like, depending on who it is, man, but I'm saying like 3 months, man, is long enough to let somebody sit on a beat that they ain't doing nothing with, unless they're in the, you know, they're in the they're working on the album or working on this or working on that, man. Like, and you know that they're working on this, then cool, whatever. I'm gonna leave it alone. Because I've had people come out with shit that, oh damn, I gave you that like 2 years ago. I didn't even realize it. Like I totally forgot about that joint. And you come out with it and it's like, damn, okay. I'm not even in that headspace anymore. But you know what I'm saying? Like, all right, you know, I wish you would have hit me up. I'd have gave you something newer.
Right.
But you know, it's just it's weird, man. It really depends on the relationship I have with that certain artist, man. If I don't really know you and we don't have like a rapport, I'm not gonna let you sit on my beats. It's not even, you know, that's money. That's food on my kid's table. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's not. But if I know you, like Sky, I'm, you know, I send you that, and that's you, man. You know what I'm saying? Do what you do with it. I know he's working. You know what I'm saying? I know he's putting it towards something. If he really wanted that joint, you know, there's something he's working on that he's gonna put it on, and I'm not worried about that. But if I've never developed a rapport with you as an MC or as an artist, I'm gonna be real leery about it anyway. That's, like I said, them is my kids, man. So I'm gonna be real leery about it, you know, and I'm gonna be on you, or I'm not gonna let you sit on my shit.
So what advice do you have for what advice do you have for the MC that the producer might seek you out as a rapper, but you just end up in their hard drive forever? They never released the song. You just like, what the hell you did with my verses? You know what I'm saying?
So, I mean, yo,
if I try to get a verse from somebody, that's because I'm using it, man. I'm not even. If I don't want the verse, or I'm gonna sit on a verse because I don't like sitting on music.
Yeah,
if I'm gonna sit on a verse, man. Chances are I'm not gonna get the verse from you because, you know, if I'm sitting on it, it wasn't good enough to do nothing with.
Yeah, so, like a lot of times, heads are like, you know, when they buy features, heads are like, you know, break bread, we do business or whatever. And sometimes, man, like, they'll hit me after a while, like, yo, we about to put this record out. And I'll be like, I don't remember who this is, but the name looked familiar. And when I search it, yo, we did the record 4 or 5 years ago. And
yeah,
like,
man. Yeah.
Like,
I'll be like, yo.
Granted, they paid me, so it's cool. That money long gone. That money long paid for lights and this and that. Cool, that money's gone. But I'm like, yo, why you wait so long to put the record out? Like, you know what I'm saying? Man. Like, yo, I might have been talking about, like, LeBron being on
President George Bush, nigga. Like,
you know
what the fuck? Like,
I might have had a metaphor talking about Bron on the Heat. That motherfucker on the Lakers now. I was like, yo, what is like what? Like, that was a moment in time. It made sense back then because he was there. I might be talking about, you know, like Kyrie when he hit it over Steph. Yo, that was like 5 years ago. Like, it made sense back then. You know what I'm saying? But like, so, you know, sometimes that'll happen. I hate when that happens, man.
Yeah, I do too, man.
A lot of times it be like up and coming artists, you know what I'm saying? And they'll be like, yeah, nah, man, because, you know, I had to get the budget right to get the marketing in place for the project and this, that, and the third. And I'm like, if that stuff wasn't already set up, you shouldn't have hollered to get the verse. Like, holler at the verse when you all the way ready. Like, yo, I'm gonna get this verse. Yo, I got my money put aside for this. I got my plan for that. So we could roll. Like, you know what I mean? I appreciate you wanting to break bread with me. We could do that every day. But don't get a verse and then sit on it. Like, you know, all of the artists I've worked with, when Jada, you know, when me and Jada Kids worked, I'm not sitting on that for years. You know what I'm saying? Like, I got a plan. Like, that's coming out this year. Me and Black Thought worked. That's coming out this year. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know, when those records was happening, you know what I'm saying? Like, I wasn't sitting on those records for years. I put those records out. You know what I mean? Like,
most likely it's going to be timeless regardless. You know what I'm saying? Depending on the type of caliber MC you are. But at the
Oh
same
yeah,
time?
for sure. Like the verse is still rock. Don't get me wrong. It's just there may be little things I'm talking about. Like Apollo said, you may talk about, that's like right now if I do a verse and I mention Corona and you put the shit out in 10 years, it's like, yo, that was 10 years ago. You're talking about the Rona. You know what I'm saying? Like shit like that. You know what I'm saying? But
if I come to you for a verse, man, it's because I'm using it. It's for whatever I'm working on now.
Using it now.
I'm using it now.
Within a year. I ain't saying put it out tomorrow, but within a calendar year, I would like to see that come out. You know what I mean?
There's timeless and then there's time capsules.
Yo, Sky, you make sure that you hear the song before they release it, or you don't care?
Every time. No, I have to. Because your verse will be all off. Your shit sound crazy. You know what I'm saying? Like, I send you the verse, bounce from 0, and that way I'm locked right in on Pro Tools. You send me the shit back, and I'm off beat all crazy. I can't have that because the only person that's going to get their hit is me. People going to be like, yo, why Sky sound like that? Yo, what?
Yo, why you not in the pocket, man? Where the pocket at?
You know what I mean? So I put every email I write in there, please send me the final version before you mix it, before you press it up, before you release it. Send me the final version before you let it fly. Once I confirm my verse and I give you the okay, then you could do what you want. I put that in every email when I attach a verse to it. Be like, once I give you the okay. So now if you don't, now we got an issue because I told your ass, let me give you the okay. You know what I'm saying? Like,
have you ever denied it?
Whatever you want.
Have you ever denied it? Like, no, I don't like this shit. No, don't put it out there. You ever do that before?
No, we just fix it. A lot of times, we just fix it. I'll be like, yo, nudge it to the left, nudge it to the right. A lot of times, yeah. I'll be like, yo, I'm a little off, but if you nudge me to the left, we should be good. I've had heads go back 4 or 5 times. I'll be like, yo, it's still off. It's still off. You know what I mean? Like, until they get it right. And then once they get it right, then we good. Like, all right, we straight. Go for it.
See, if it's some stateside, oh, I'm sorry. If it's stateside, you know what I mean? I don't see how or why that could happen, but I could see if you're dealing with somebody overseas that don't
speak the language. It's more likely to happen because of the language barrier and all that. You know what I'm saying? But one time,
it could definitely happen. It definitely happened.
One time I had the kid. I don't remember who it was. It was years ago, but we just couldn't get it. Every time I was like, yo, it's still not there. It's still not there. And then the last time I was like, yo, you know what, bro? Send me the whole session. I'll have my man mix it and send it back to you. And he was like, all right, no problem. So he sent me the session. I had my man mix it. And then I made the kid give me like 50 bones for my man. You know what I mean? Like, yo, give me $50. Let my man mix it. Shoot it back to you. He was like, yeah, no problem. Gave my man $50 or whatever. My man mixed it, sent him the Wave, MP3, all that shit so he could run. And we was good. Because I was like, for some reason, maybe your setup, maybe you got Logic versus Pro Tools. I don't know. But for some reason, this ain't clicking. So let's figure this out. I'll help you figure it out. I don't know too many MCs who you buy a verse from that's going to do all that. But I'm like, yo, I'll help you out.
It's like, a lot of MCs that don't give a shit either, too.
Absolutely.
You know what I'm saying? It's a lot of MCs that be like, once they leave the booth, man, they like.
Right. And for me, I just feel like if you the artist, like, you're going to take the hit. Nobody's going to hear MC
I feel you. Exactly.
Skyzoo and blame MC so-and-so for Skyzoo verse being off.
I mean, you should want to see your art through all the way. Exactly. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's how I
like,
feel.
I was off that day. You know
but
I mean?
I know a lot of MCs that once they get out the booth, they like this, man, and they don't even care no more. Like,
yeah, nah, they gonna hear that.
It just magically appears in the store. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I don't know, man.
Yeah, they're gonna hear it and be like, yo, Sky was off that day. Like, no, Sky wasn't off at all. Like, the fucking engineer was off. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm not letting that fly on my name, baby. Like, I'm Marlo. My name is my name. I'm not letting that fly. Like, I can't do it. You know what I mean?
Like, I know how to rap in the pocket, man.
Yeah, we're not doing that. So I'm adamant about send me that final version, B. You know what I mean? Like, and as soon as you send it, I give you the okay. Yo, that shit's perfect. You good to go. Do what you want. You know what I mean?
No, but what I meant is, did you ever like get the song sent back to you? You didn't like the songs that you were on, and you.
Oh, nah. I mean, there's definitely been joints that you favor over others, for lack of a better term. There's definitely joints where you be like, all right, we could do something with it. You know what I'm saying? If we keeping it a buck. I've never done nothing that I'm not proud of. No, not at all. But everybody you make a record with ain't gonna rhyme sun, moon, and stars through the roof. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's just not possible. But it doesn't mean the joint ain't dope. Sometimes I do a feature with somebody and they pretty good, but the beat was crazy and I like the concept. And they a cool person, and I see they trying to do their thing. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know, and sometimes you never know where it's gonna go. Like the first, me and Wes met off a feature. You know what I'm saying? It wasn't like, you know, a stranger pay type thing, but it was like we met because I didn't know him, but he reached out and he was like, yo, I fuck with what you do. This shit crazy, bro. I've been fucking with you for a while, forever, boom, boom, whatever. Y'all would love to get with you. And we started conversing back and forth on email. And I was like, I bet you I'm going to be in Atlanta for A3C. Oh, word, me too. We can meet up out there. And we met up and we clicked and we vibed and then we did a joint. Who would have known he would turn into what he turned into? You know what I mean? Another situation was Mac Miller, rest in peace. Mac got a verse off me in 09. You know what I'm saying? And like, who would have knew this 17-year-old kid in 09 would become what he became? You know what I'm saying? His manager reached out. I think it was his manager. Manager reached out and he reached out, but the manager is the one who did the PayPal shit. But Mac reached out and we kicked it, boom, 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 got the verse. And then when the Salvation came out, he was smart. We did the verse. He waited a couple months. The Salvation came out, so my name was like on every blog. And like a week later, he dropped the record. So he was smart. You know what I mean? Like he caught the momentum, and it was good. You know what I mean? Like the joint dropped. It's called Pin Game. It's on YouTube. Every now and then I'll get Mac Miller fans tweeting me like, yo, listening to Pin Game right now with Skyzoo, such a crazy record, whatever. And then when I met Mac in person, 2011, I'm at South by Southwest. I'm on one side of the street. He's on another, but I'm over here doing my thing, whatever. He's dealing with some fans and some people. Mid-conversation, he runs across the street through traffic. And he's like, yo, Skyzoo, yo, I'm Mac Miller. I'm the kid you did a record with back in the day, remember? I was like, yeah, I definitely remember, bro. Like, you kind of blew up. Like, what's up? Like, I definitely remember who you are. You kind of blew up, man. What's good? Yo, man, it's so crazy, man. I'm the only 17-year-old that had a Skyzoo verse, man. Can't nobody fuck with me. So then every time I would see him after that, he would always say that. He would be like, yo, Sky, no matter what they say about me, man, I was the only 17-year-old with a Skyzoo verse, man. They couldn't fuck with me, man. I was like, nah, word up. You know what I mean? Like, we got real cool. But the moral is, like, you never know somebody you're doing a feature with, where they gonna go. Like, it depends on where you take it. The same thing with an Apollo beat. Like, a kid might holler at Apollo and be like, yo, man, I'm a huge fan. I want to get a beat. What I got to do? Apollo may give him a beat, break bread. That kid may be out of here in a year. You know what I'm saying? Like, he may be out of here. You know what I mean? Or he may not. You don't know.
Hopefully Producer's Corner be out of there because Apollo, we get the most views with you.
Shut the fuck up.
Yo, Apollo, you know what I'm waiting for, right? You know what I'm waiting for.
Yo, I got it, man. It's on my I got these shelves down here that I hold all my my hoodies, man. So I'm gonna get you that picture, definitely, man. I'm gonna get you that.
Word up. Yeah, man. I appreciate the time, y'all. I gotta get ready to dip. But yeah, it's been real.
Damn, damn, it's 11:30 already, man.
Yeah, no, me too, yo. So I appreciate you, brothers. It's like I tell Apollo, I might want to get you in a future one. You know, we never know who you're gonna be in the room with. You know what I'm saying?
Hey, man, absolutely, bro. Just hit me up, man. I know I'm not the easiest all the time, man, but yeah, just hit me, man.
Yo, it was great meeting you guys, man.
It's better to text me too than to hit me on the DM.
All right, my bad.
Yeah, no, text me. Definitely text me.
Yo, it was good chopping it up.
Yeah, good to see y'all fellas, man.
It's all love. I appreciate it, man. I know, Stretch, I know we was trying to do this for a minute, so I'm glad we was able to make it happen. You know what I mean?
I might,
on a Tuesday.
When you drop your album, we might get at you again around that time. Let me know when and shit. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, no, definitely, man. I'm trying to work out the date now. We figure it out. Appreciate all y'all on here, man. And pleasant surprise having my brother Apollo on here, man. I appreciate it.
Always a pleasure, bro.
Always
good to see you, bro. And
likewise.
Y'all fellas, take care of yourselves. Be safe out there.
Salute to everybody.
We'll get together soon.
It's an honor.
Thank you, guys.
Thank you.
No doubt.
Tony B, thank you.
Salvation.
Oh man, thank you, bro. Yeah. Mike, I appreciate it. Peace and love.
Yeah, no doubt, bro.
Peace.